going live. I need to dig into my LastPass options and figure out how to tell LastPass to stop trying to save my stream key as a password. It just sees it as a password field. It's like, do you want to add this to LastPass? No, I don't need to add this to LastPass. I've got the wrong, oh heck, I've got the wrong, oh no, I've forgotten everything. There are many things, you were not aware of any of these things, Caradog. However, I've just gone live and realized I've forgotten all the things. Fine, I'll show them off while we're doing things. Hello everyone. Welcome to Two Guys Talk Tech for YouTube Stats.
Oh, I just realized I left the stream in the background. That's why I'm getting weird shouting.
Ah, fair enough. And away we go. What's up, Chris Kingan? How you doing? Patrick, Cy, Tony, Wayne, Bad Egg, Glyn Roberts, Rumbark. I've just read through a whole bunch of names on the chat. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Right, we definitely need to go. We definitely need to do a bit of show and tell this stream, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I was supposed to set up for this stream, and I've completely forgotten to. So,
oh dear.
Okay, well, I don't need to worry about the mug because we've done the mug bit before. However, I should have used the meme mug for the podcast, because that's now the podcast mug. But I picked up my Fluttershy mug because this is the mug that I always use. So, have I at least remembered to terminate my instance? No, I haven't, Teltac. Teltac, can you do that for me? Do you have permission to do that?
Heck off, WinZip. Nobody wants you.
Teltac is my my Amazon AWS guru. I've basically just given him admin for most things, so he can do things for me. So
wait, they're set up correctly.
You don't have IAM perms. Oh. I should have just given you my Amazon login. Or whatever.
Probably.
Yeah, but the problem is two-factor though. Oh well. Yeah, I'll get it sorted though. How is the shop? Adjusting to it now? Yeah, shop is going great. We're getting there. Still things to set up and adjust and stuff, but it's all making progress. I'm going to start doing the 100,000 subscribers special video soon. So that'll be good, and it'll all be revealed. The Rode mic is going well. I want to tweak the mic. I'm not 100% happy with the sound from it. I was editing video from it the other day, and it's too enclosed. It doesn't have the nice open air, sounds like you're in the room feel of a condenser microphone. It just sounds a bit too much in your eardrums kind of thing. So I don't know what it needs though. It needs an expander or a lifter or some kind of filter on it just to open it up a bit. So yeah.
It needs embiggening.
Needs embiggening, yes. Something along those lines. The other possibility is I need to just experiment with moving it to other places, because right now it's right on my chest, so it's probably resonating, which probably doesn't help. But yeah.
Yes, you just test whether applying pressure changes it, because it may be resonating off of your collarbone or something.
Well, this is what it sounds like if I just hold it in front of me now. I don't know how much that's just changed the sound.
Possibly preferable.
Yeah. So what if
That's good.
See, how does it sound if I put it up there now?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. See, if I put it out there, it's got less of an issue, but also it flaps around a bit, which is the problem with it being a big clip-on thing.
Yes, I hear there's a problem with flappy bits around your neck.
Shush.
Or something. I don't know.
Shush. So yeah, that's just it. I've got to, I need to tweak with the positioning. Basically, I need to find a spot to put it where it's not against my chest, but it's also, yeah, maybe. Hang on a minute. What if I put it all the way up there? Because like where it's up the side there, that's. But then the other problem is if I look this way, the sound drops off massively, which is why
it really does.
Yeah, which is why I'd put it down there, because that way it was directly below my mouth wherever I was looking. So,
what you need to do is now get one of those clip-on lavalier microphones and attach it to the edge of your glasses frame.
Yeah, there we go. I've put it on the outside of the jumper now, so hopefully it should be less resonate-y.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. Right, let's see. Where were we?
How's the motherboard?
How's the motherboard? Not there yet. Not there yet. So for people who I've spent the past 24 hours fixing a motherboard. I'll pick it up here. People who are in the exclusive room of the Discord chat will have seen this already because they're the cool kids and they get to see stuff that I'm working on now and then occasionally. And I just dropped all the screws for it. Stand by. Anyway. Oh, hold on a sec. I can do a party trick now, actually. Right, hang on a sec. Let me just pick up these screws that I've just dropped. Like a heckin' boss. Bentley, thank you for the $5. Right. See, now I can go... Wachow! And I've made a new layout. So now we can all be on the screen at the same time. I've been working on this motherboard for the past 24 hours. And
Was that the mail-in?
Yes, this was the mail-in one with the corrupted BIOS. And it was not a corrupted BIOS. Well, it is a corrupted BIOS. However, the BIOS is corrupted because the SoC phase blew up halfway through a BIOS flash. So
yeah, that's probably going to give you issues, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll wreck your BIOS. So I'll take the VRM heatsink off again, just because it needs to come off. Just because I had given up on this one, and then just before we started, I was in my storeroom and I saw another MSI board and had a ray of inspiration. But yeah, basically, I've been... You
can steal the VRM off of one board?
Yes, basically. Because where we're up to with this one, I need to focus. See, in the video, I can skip past all of the focus sections, but when you're working live, you kind of have to stall for time while you actually adjust the camera focus.
I mean, that's what autofocus is for, right?
Autofocus is bollocks on webcams. So yeah. So I've taken this phase off the board, well, it was actually this phase that blew up. However, the SoC needs power, so I stole phase 4 from the CPU, put it on the SoC. However, the CPU is now missing phase 4, and there's no vCore with one of the phases gone. So I need to get more MOSFETs and another phase doubler, because the cause of the problem is the phase doubler on the bottom of the board was blowing up MOSFETs. So yeah. However, I was like sort of, oh God, now I've got to order MOSFETs and a phase doubler for this thing. And then I saw another MSI board in the back room that's also an X570, and I'm like, the chances are it's got exactly the same parts on it. It's probably got the same VRM. So I don't know if I'm going to do it today, because I've been working on this thing. I started working on this board at 8 p.m. yesterday, and I've been working on it right up until earlier on today. And I'm like, I should probably take a break, but now I've seen that board in the back room, I'm like, I could keep going. I could keep going. I can fix it. I can do it. So we'll see.
Is the other board not a very good board then?
The other board is better than this one. It's the one up from this one. It's the Gaming Edge, and this is the Carbon. However, it's also dead.
Is it not worth taking parts from that board and making the other one work?
It might be. It might be actually. The other one has got. I think the other one has a dead BIOS chip on it, so it might be worth rubbing the BIOS chip off of this board.
Because if that's all that's up with it, and you can just go direct swap, ta-da, here's a BIOS chip.
Yeah,
that kind of seems like a better option.
Yeah, I should probably rob this guy back off the board, stick it on the Carbon one, yeah, and stick it on the edge and see if it works. Because yeah, this is a common BIOS chip. Because the funny thing is, at first I thought this was a newfangled thing, but it's actually the same that's on one of my testing boards. Is an X470, and it's got the same BIOS chip on it. So yeah, it's they didn't change them much. So yes, the board it's not out the woods yet. It's not out the woods yet. However, I'm not done with it yet either. So it might get saved. It might get saved. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of cool. So that's what I've been working on. And also, yeah, Michael Leeper can't help but see that YouTube's not notifying yourself about three out of 4 videos. The video title I put in today, literally just as I was setting up this video, I just checked the comments section, and there was another comment from someone saying, "Oh, stop posting these talk shows and do repair videos." And I'm like, there's one a week. I never stopped doing the repair videos. And I'm like, oh, it's frustrating. I
wonder if it's because they don't actually watch the videos. So YouTube goes, oh, they're not actually interested.
That might be it. 'Cause, you know, the algorithm works with a purpose, you know.
It will show you more of the stuff that you're already looking at.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just it. So yeah, I'm kind of not sure. There's nothing I can do about it. But I might have to do another video and just say to people, maybe, you know, use your subs page. Don't use the YouTube homepage. The YouTube homepage is bad and terrible.
I use the YouTube homepage maybe once, maybe twice a week, just to quickly scroll up and down it and go, is there a video on here that I'm like, huh, yeah, actually, I will watch that.
Yeah.
Just to see if there's something random that is very adjacent to what I'm already watching, but from a channel I've just not found or something.
See, I just use the related videos for that. Sorry, I've walked off screen because I've dropped a screw and I'm trying to find it before I forget that it exists.
Oh, good job. Excellent.
But yeah, see, I just use the related videos for that. So when it comes up with the tile at the end of a video or the related column down the right-hand side.
My related videos column next to videos is always videos I've already seen from the channel I'm presently watching.
Ah, yes. Yes, that will happen a little bit, I'll give you that.
So it's just kind of a case where it's just like,
Yeah. Let's switch back to the podcast split for a bit. There we go. Yeah, that can happen.
So it's just meh. But yes, I was flicking through a channel and suddenly went, oh, I am still subscribed to you. I just forgot to watch your videos for the past like 7 months. And just opened up like 85 tabs worth of videos and was just like, I will finish this by the end of 2021. Maybe.
Your camera did the thing then, yeah. You did the downcast, your camera was just like, oh, Caradog has done what is it you're playing with?
NVIDIA Broadcast.
Oh, I just remembered I've got to adjust my balance as well. Yeah, Caradog's been fiddling with NVIDIA Broadcast, and he can do very clever things with a webcam now.
Yes,
including face tracking and automatic face tracking, and also a bokeh effect or a depth of field. What is the difference between bokeh and depth of field? Are they just the same thing?
I don't know if it's the actual definition, but to me, to my understanding, bokeh is the ring effects around point lights generated by the aperture shape in out of focus parts of the field. Depth of field is an effect for things being out of focus at different fields of focus.
Okay, yeah.
Similar, but definitely different.
Yeah. Yes.
And like you can tell how many fingers an aperture has by the shape of the bokeh. Also, there are certain like lenses that have specific lenses inside them to give you different shaped bokeh. Like I know there is one that is specifically designed to make all point lights which are out of focus a snowflake.
Oh, interesting.
Just kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Fair enough then.
Yeah. So a lens that costs like £8,000. You're just like,
so yeah, similar but not the same. It's to do with how the effect is generated, but they're all generally to do with putting the background slightly softer than the subject.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Solutions to go back to RSS. not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
As far as I'm aware, I've never used as far as I'm aware, I've never intentionally used RSS.
I used RSS when Apple, because Apple went through a phase of being all about RSS. They added it to Mail, so you could have RSS feeds come into your email inbox in line with your emails, which was great because basically you had news stories coming into your mailbox along with your normal email. So I could go. This was back at the day where I actually read my email. I can see you grinning there.
So never.
No, it was a long time ago, but once upon a time I read my email. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so it would come in alongside, and so yeah, I would get all of my RSS feeds, so my tech news stories, my web comics, all of that would come in alongside my email, and then in an update to macOS, Apple literally just completely dropped RSS from Mail. They just took the feature out completely. And like it had been one of their flagship new features, and then they just got bored of it. And instead of just not developing it, they literally just took it out the app. And I'm like, why would you do that? What, like, sure, just don't bother updating it if you can't be asked, but why would you remove it altogether? So that meant that I then had to get a third-party app to do my RSS feeds. And I'm like, oh, now I've got to check 2 apps, and that's effort, and just,
I guess I've always used Twitter as though it's an RSS feed.
Yeah, I suppose to an extent that is one of the uses for Twitter, yeah.
Because all I subscribe to are news sources in the sense of going, here's a video, here's content around the video, here's a news article, here's content around the news article, and that's all I see on there. So I guess to me it is effectively an RSS feed. Or apparently if you're from Somerset, it's an R feed. Somerset or something. I don't know. I'm not a farmer.
Fair enough. Yeah, RNA says, you've got a camera lens with many aperture petals. You will have a more circular and more pleasant looking bokeh. Yes, indeed. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. It's like most kit lenses, certainly when I was looking at kit lenses to try and work out how they made them for the price they did. Kit lenses will have like 4 or 5 fingers, but like the pro ones will have like 14, 15.
Ah, yeah. Okay, yeah. There's a big difference then, yeah.
Yeah. I remember somewhere I managed to get the full Canon technical lens specification manual for like 2012, but like 2012 or something like that. And it listed basically every lens they'd ever made on EF and EFS mount with like everything.
Oh,
like
damn.
the expected light deviations, the expected, color fringing and vignetting and all of that sort of stuff.
That's very
cool. The proper
cool.
Service manual type stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
that's very cool if you're looking for a lens and you're looking for a very specific feature.
Yeah. I don't know where it was from. I just acquired it at some point. As these things occasionally happen. You just kind of gain things. It's like being a tenant in a building for a long time. You end up with lots of keys you're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty certain I have the master key for our entire office block. I'm just like, I probably shouldn't have that. But hey.
Right. Hello, Night Fusion. Oh, sorry. No, you didn't miss anything. Thanks, Si. I'm glad to see that the first 20 minutes of the podcast has been engaging to you. Is it show and tell time? Oh, it probably should be, actually. Firstly, I've got a bit of hair that I can see out the corner of my eye, and it's annoying me, which is why I'm sort of doing this all of a sudden,
They're coming for me! They're coming for me!
And also, I'm just, I'm quickly making. I'm probably gonna sit and fiddle with the layout and the overlay a lot today because I'm kind of tinkering with as I say, I'm experimenting with things and I just want to streamline line things a little bit. And sometimes the best way to fiddle with things is to just heckin' do it live, which is exactly how you shouldn't do it. But whatever, who cares? It's not a question of who will let me, but who will stop me. And the first thing I want to adjust is I just want to try putting in a divider between Caradog and I and just see what that looks like. So I'm just going to export.
Oh, yes, it looks like the YouTube encoder is having a bit of a moment with the edge of my frame.
Hopefully not.
It is very much just kind of going,
Oh no. Right, I'm just quickly saving something. Google Drive, OBS overlays, Adamant IT, podcast names. I should probably save and copy, paste the old one, make a backup. There we go. All of your backups should be called file name -- copy. Right, bam.
Oh no.
Replace file. Okay, that's that done. And now Google Drive is going to update that. And then I wonder if OBS will automatically update that when Google Drive updates on this computer. Can you do that live? Updated 18 hours ago. No, I'm just going to wait and see if that changes itself. I'll do the we'll do the show and tell while we wait for things. So
promises, Teltac. Promises.
Right. Okay, show and tell. Let's do the show and tell. So then, because as I say, then I've showed things off that I was supposed to have set up for today. So what I'll do for this is I'm going to adjust this camera. So I've got that there. Right, the show and tell is not actually as exciting as I'm making it out to be, by the way, but whatever. Right, firstly, let's go.
Here's a box. It's a brown cardboard box.
Podcast bench. That should do it. So now I can go up here. Haha. Right, firstly. So this is something where this is something that I want to say I don't approve of it, but that would be a bit mean. However, suffice to say, with all due respect, I'm not putting this up on my wall.
It has not been officially sanctioned.
With all due respect, I'm not putting it up on the wall. I was going to put it up on the wall as a surprise, but I forgot to. But yeah, let me just see if I can. Let's just see if we can get this set up.
Oh my goodness. I genuinely have no idea what this is, and I'm preparing to be concerned.
Right, let's just see if I can glide into shot. So it's a little bit curly at the sides because it's very large. Here we go. So this showed up. What do I do with this? What do I do with this? Who is responsible for this? This is enormous. I don't know what size this is, but it's very large. So
someone actually spent money on doing that.
Yes, they did. Sai knows who's responsible for this. I don't think it's Sai, but he knows who it is.
I'm going to blame Night Fusion. Because he's here and he's northern.
So yeah, that's the first one. I'll just put that back in the tube for now. It was 1400 by 1000. Okay, so that's a that I'm going to assume is a call of responsibility from Night Fusion. Then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, hold on a sec. I've got to go back to the background.
Does anyone want to buy that as part of a charity auction?
Sure. Legitimately, actually, sure. I don't have time to set that up, but if someone wants to set that up, we'll make it happen.
A Caradog room. You want me to adorn your walls?
And the other thing, this actually showed up like last week, but I keep forgetting to put it on for the podcast. But also, with regards to another one of my famous catchphrases, I've also got this. So yeah, I can be fun. So this also arrived. My girlfriend Kimbo also specifically appreciated this because I've said that when hanging out with her before as well. Her family legitimately thought I was a bit of a stick in the mud when we first met. And when she mentioned this to me, I was like, "I can be fun." And so, yeah, this definitely speaks to me. So, and yes, also yes, the font hurts me, but it's good. I love it. So yes, Matt, big thanks. So I'll stick that to one side. Yeah, that pretty much concludes the show and tell obligations, I think. The other part of it was just the fact that I've now, just adjusted the camera setup so we can bench cam at the same time. Because that also means later on in the podcast, when I start getting bored, I can start fiddling with this. It's my Dreamcast VMU. I was going to put a new battery in it, and it's leaked horribly, so I was going to take that apart and start cleaning it up. So yes, that is a thing.
Man, I remember getting one of them and then being sorely disappointed that none of the games I played on the Dreamcast supported the VMU.
Yeah, it's not actually very good. Like, it's super cool, it's just underutilized.
Apparently, there's a whole chow petting game on it from one of the Sonics.
Probably, yeah. That would be Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, whichever one has the soap shoe tie-in.
Oh no, most likely. But yeah, I dug my Dreamcast out and I'm gonna get it going again. Unfortunately, I would have it set up, but annoyingly, I can't heckin' find my SCART to HDMI upscaler. I had it in the old shop and it's gotten lost in the move, and I'm very sad about that. So yes, yeah. So that's the thing. Hello, Kimbo. By the way, Kimbo is the girlfriend.
Oh, yes. Is Spud's £10 super chat a bid on the poster? If so, we should just post it to him at his work.
The poster can be the ungift. It's a case of we post it to someone, and you either have to put it up on your wall, or you have to post it to someone else. Though it's a hot potato thing. It's a case of
it's okay, Spud. You've been outbid.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the tenner, Spud Nugget, and thank you, Christopher David, for the Caradog poster as well. I don't know what we're doing. Are we doing a bit here or what? I've no idea.
I don't know, but I'm sure I can find a Sharpie and sign it.
We'll have to do that. The next time you're in the shop, we'll sign it anyway, and just so it's actually signed, and then I'm sure we can do something stupid with it. So, no offense, but waking to that first thing would be startling.
Think how much worse it is when you wake up and see it in person.
Yeah.
Just there, looming over you.
It's like that. Oh, I don't know what film it's from, but there's that one gif of the guy with the whole face mask on. He walks in front of the mirror and goes, oh. Right.
Basically. Oh, dear.
Competition to see who can take a pic of it in the strangest place. Yes, I like it.
Basically, it basically becomes like extreme earning.
Make it an NFT. Oh no. Hell no. Oh,
the problem is it physically exists, therefore it cannot be an NFT.
This is true. You missed seeing the poster. Okay, I'll get it back out again for you, Chris Kingan. I'll do it for you, Chris. All right, for anyone who missed the heckin' poster, here's the stupid poster. Hold on.
And just before that, for a random little factoid for precisely 0 people who care, Big Ben is the bell. The tower is Elizabeth Tower.
Aha. Whoop. All right, I've got to adjust this again. You keep going upside down, Caradog. All right, here we go. All right, let's do this again.
Oh, I thought you meant my camera. It was just randomly flipping. I was going to say, nope. That would be a weird bug to have.
Here's the heckin' poster. There we go.
It's glorious, isn't it?
It's the fact, I don't know, it's the fact that it's bi-directional as well. You can't, it's just like whichever way you look, it's astonishing.
Whichever way you look, still disappointed in you.
Yeah. I can't even remember what you were looking at when you made that face. I think you must have seen a 3060 Ti going for £1,200 or something like that.
Probably.
And you were like, ugh, you know?
Probably. It's been very weird on the GPU front this week.
Yeah? How so?
Just because there have been way more drops of stuff at near MSRP, but way fewer drops in total and zero stock on any of them. Basically. It's like people seem to be listing way more single GPUs or like 2 GPUs at closer to MSRP prices. But then it's like, obviously they're instantly sold out because there's like 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's just like, ugh.
I wonder if the...
Absolutely. Take a photo of that, tweet it at Bayer Dynamic and go, here we go, we've got new advertising material for you.
Yes, we have 100,000 subscribers. Perhaps you would be interested in doing business with us.
Yes. Do you have any more microphones to feed my microphone addiction?
Yeah.
It will feature prominently because, you know, the microphone has to be prominently positioned just where it has like the logo here or something, you know, just like, oh yes, I used the microphone.
You only do that if you've got a Shure SM7B, because you've got to let everyone know that you've got a Shure SM7B.
Yes.
Because you spent an obnoxious amount of money on that just for a podcast. And so you've got to let people know that you spent an obnoxious amount of money on a studio quality microphone for a podcast.
I guess. I mean, they've got the other one that I've literally just forgotten the name of, which is the USB one and XLR one, which is like £250 and is far more designed for streamers.
Yes, it's true.
And is actually
although
nice.
that's a newer model.
It's micro B. It's micro B. What is this abomination?
Gross.
Which is why I like this one, because it's USB-C.
Hmm.
Because it now means that everything I have is either USB-C or USB-A. So I've got rid of all of the micro B bollocks.
Yeah, except for your keyboard. We gotta do your keyboard.
It's fine. I have a USB-C keyboard.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, wasn't there one that you wanted me to see if I could retrofit Type-C?
There are 2. However, this one is.
Ah.
Also, hold on. If I
again, can you just try walking off shot? I want to see if it hunts for you again. When earlier on Caradog walked off shot and the face tracking just freaked out. It didn't know what to do. The face tracking is like, no, come back. Oh, okay. Oh, my phone's going. I'm just going to put this somewhere else. Oh, there we go. Right. Night Fusion, £5. Compare the mug and the poster. Thank you very much for the 5. Well, because you have super chatted, I feel obligated to do that now, so I shall do that. Let me see. Oh no, Remo in. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Graham, be careful for the small mercies. It could have been a duvet cover.
Soon.
Wrap yourself up in Caradog.
There are people who would enjoy that.
Arnold G, so tempted to buy a Pine Sol on the PSU. Yeah, I mean the Pine Sol is super cheap. I wouldn't bother getting the Pine Power desktop unless you actually unless you charge a lot of USB devices. Am I getting this thing out again for the 3rd time just so we can compare it to the mug? I have to. Okay, I'll do it for you, Night Fusion. I'm doing this for you. Oh God, body pillows. Look, on a serious, I guess I need to do a slightly serious note here. is that the memes are very funny. However, a couple of people, like some people in the exclusive chat room, have been talking about merch ideas and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, merch is a cool idea. I want to get involved in that. However, I would like, if I actually sell merchandise for my brand, I would like my brand to be slightly more professional than this. As funny as this is, right? Hold on, I've got to go and get the heckin' mug. I'm going to go and get the mug. And then I will catch up on chat. We're nearly done with the memes. We're nearly done. Into the kitchen.
A lovely full-size pillow of me to snuggle with in the darkest hours.
All right, here we go.
And they have naught but themselves for entertainment.
Who wore it better? I don't know. All right, is this good enough? Is this passable? That's what we're going with. Don't drop the mug. Can't we have the real you? No. All right. Okay, I'm putting this away now. I'm putting this away, and we're gonna catch up on chat. Okay, right. I have a question. What's the relationship between Adam and Caradog? My name is Graham. I literally have a label on the screen for this purpose, and we're friends basically. We're both friends. We met up through one of our other friends who used to run a cyber cafe, and yeah, we've just been hanging out since then, basically.
The way you rolled that poster hurt me.
Look, I've rolled it up 3 times now. I'm done with this stupid poster, so it's going back in the tube. Right. If someone else tips for the poster, I'm not getting it back out. I'm not getting it back out. And also it's a case of we're turning into a jumping jacks thing here, where I'm just like, it's going to take a £50 super chat to get the poster back out again. But I don't want to put that down because I'm like, no, we're not playing that game either. I'm not going to start saying, go on, 50 quid to get the poster back out. No, we're not doing that. Right. And the mug as well. Let's see. Someone else asked me how I was getting on with the Land Cool 2, which is in the background. I'm loving the Land Cool 2, man. I'm really enjoying that case. I'm going to be taking another look at it very soon because something else that I've got this week is this heckin' bad boy. Caradog and I ordered this guy in from Amazon US, and this thing is a heckin' beast, man. And I'm really looking forward to having a look at this. And that's going in the Land Cool 2. 360 millimeter radiator, and that guy comes with 6 fans. There's 6 fans in the box, man. So,
are they all RGB fans?
6 RGB fans. Like we were saying that thing is hella expensive, but you know, like with the amount that actually comes with it, I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good price. It's expensive because there's that much in the box. It's a massive fucking cooler, and it comes with 6 RGB fans. So it's like, yeah, for $200, that's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. So Chris Kingan, hang the poster in the window of the shop. Not for $5. You're going to need to do better than that. Seriously though, stop tipping me for the poster. I'm not playing that game. Night Fusion was worth the investment. Well, I hope it has brought you some joy, Night Fusion. Yeah, it was Night Fusion. I know him. He's a mad lad. Let's see. Hello, people in the stream. Hope everyone's day is okay. Thanks, Kavir. How's your day going? Let's see. What else is going on? Did I manage to fix the Lenovo laptop? Which one? What Lenovo were we looking at?
Nope, I don't recall.
Can't remember. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of Lenovo's lately. So yeah, which one is the answer to that?
I've just noticed in the background of your super wide angle that you have 2 of the hard drive caddies from the brand that I can't pronounce, the French one. It's the Mac brand.
Lacey.
That's it.
Lacey or Lassie? Or I don't know. Yeah,
I guess it depends whether it's your frilly bits or something.
Yeah, I got two of these bastards in at the moment. I say bastards because this one is 10 terabytes and the other one is 8 terabytes, and I need to back them up. So yeah,
You actually even have enough storage for that.
I've got to push everything around basically. The 8 terabyte one, thankfully, it's not full. It's got there was about 4.5 terabytes on there, and a large amount of it is incremental backups. So I don't need to get everything from it. I just need to get the latest backup plus the data. Lasse. So that is backing up, and I'm hoping that backup is going to complete before we wrap up today. Because, hang on a minute, because again, I can do this stuff now.
I wouldn't want an 8 terabyte external hard drive.
I don't think I would either. But this is the interesting question.
Unless it's got something other than USB to connect it as well.
No, it's USB 3.1 and Thunderbolt.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So sticky label. So yeah, that's backing up at the moment. Then once the file transfer is completed from that, I've then got to put that on diagnostic and do a sector scan on it. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that if that file transfer finishes before we wrap up today, I can get that doing C tools and just leave it running over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm, like a 2 terabyte drive is about 2 hours. So an 8 terabyte drive, if I'm like, that's going to get done over the weekend, I reckon. All dreams fall down, put the poster in the window as the Google Street View car goes past. I love it. Thanks for the $5.
Or just chase it down the street with the poster just.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got to do that. Then the other one is a 10 terabytes, and I need to do the same thing. But like, because I've backed up the 8 terabyte one, do a sector scan on that one. Then the 10 terabyte one, I can back. If the 8 terabyte one passes, which I think it will, I think it's just got a bad file system. It's Mac formatted, and when you plug it in, macOS is going, there's a problem with this drive. You can read the data, but you can't write to it. And most of the time, that just means you've just got to format the drive. So you just copy your data off, format it, and put the data back again.
But 10 terabytes worth.
That's just it. Normally, this would not be a big deal, but there's so much data there that it's just the volume that's the difficulty. So I'm currently just shoving data around, and I'm just doing a big old shuffle.
Because, I think you've got 2 4 terabyte drives, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. I got 2 4 terabyte. Well, I've got 3 actually. I've got 3 4 terabyte drives because I've got my red and the 2 greens that you gave, that you loaned me, gave me, that I have that from you.
That are surplus to my requirements.
Yeah, that currently exist. So yes, I'm able to handle it. Yeah, I've got to shifty those around. So that's fun. There was something else I was gonna.
Yeah. I need to re-hot glue one of my, the drive I ripped the SATA connector off of.
Oh, yeah.
I need to re-hot glue that one.
Fun times, yeah. Are you still using it? What size is that drive?
8 terabytes.
Oh, yeah, so it's kind of worth saving, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's like, oops.
Yeah. I'd almost be tempted to say, let's try soldering a cable onto it. But I've tried soldering SATA wires before, and that's harder than it looks.
I wonder how hard it is to get like the plastic cases to just pull one off of like a trashed other hard drive and stick the little plastic case on it.
Oh, right, yeah. It needs to be a matching one because they're not standardized.
What do you mean?
Let me grab 2 hard drives.
Oh, you mean like the spacing and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like, of course it's standardized. It's SATA, a connector.
Yeah, but if I grab 2 random hard drives here. Oh man, I'm so glad I've set up this bench cam just because, like, sure, you've got the delay, Caradog, but it just means, my face. But it just means that I can just show things on stream now.
That would be delightfully clippable. I'm so
So
glad I was. Oh, my face.
yeah. So like obviously the SATA connector is standardized, but as you can see, the block of plastic is not. So replacing the SATA connector on a hard drive, it's absolutely possible, but you've got to find a matching one to replace it with. That's the
Oh, I
problem there.
see.
So that's what makes that harder than it sounds.
Mm.
But theoretically, if you could find a busted one or if you can find a similar one, I mean, maybe like if you got a hard drive like kind of like this one, if you look at the shape of this one, it's a very uniform shape. Like if we just dremeled off the engineer port there, just so we
Yeah.
had the basic SATA connector, that'd probably solder on, and then you could just reinforce it in some places to keep it steady. You
Mm.
might be able to bodge a non-standard one on there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm certainly sure that there are, very cheap Toshiba 500 or terabyte drives
Yeah. Or even
around.
just even just grab a dead one. Like these drives, these are just dead drives.
Oh yeah,
That
but I
you know.
meant because they're Toshiba drives, if
Hmm.
they're from the same series, they'll
Oh
probably have
right.
the same layout. And
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I think they're N300s or S300s or something like that,
Yeah.
because that
Maybe. Yep.
size range goes from like 500 gigabytes all the way up to like 12 terabytes or something.
Yeah. It's just difficult to tell because the problem is whenever you're buying hard drives, they always use generic pictures of them. Because of course, technically, it doesn't matter what a hard drive looks like, so it's very
Mm,
difficult to look at pictures and see if the drivers are actually the same or not.
mm. I was
So
gonna like eBay it for a listing of an individual drive.
yeah,
See if someone's selling one
okay,
second
yeah,
hand,
that makes sense.
refurbished drive, and I'm like, I'm never using you for actual data.
Mm,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Kavir, I actually have a hard drive that doesn't want to function, just spins, starts clicking. It was pulled out of a external enclosure. Might have zapped it. Yeah, if you're getting clicks, then that's some kind of mechanical failure. So you're in for a bad time. Don't want to say that it can't be recovered. A lab can probably do it, but that's a bad time.
yeah,
Unless you've got data on there that you really, really want, I would not even bother looking at it personally. Mechanical hard drives are so cheap that they're just not worth looking at.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
although that much being said, it's whenever you've got a bad hard drive, it's always worth taking it out of the enclosure and trying the bare drive because the enclosures do actually fail quite common. Like whenever someone brings a portable hard drive into my shop saying my portable hard drive doesn't work anymore, at least 1 in 3 of them, if you pull the bare drive out and put it in a new enclosure, the drive is absolutely fine. That's not going to be
mm,
the case with you if you've got clicking. But as I say, just for reference though,
yeah.
failed enclosures are more common than you'd imagine. So yeah. Do, do, do,
I
do.
remember doing that on a lot of external hard drives where people had mashed the connectors.
Yeah, that as well. A lot
Like,
of the problems are just the USB connector is just mangled.
and just like you were trying to mash this in the wrong way around and went, oh, it's not going in. Let me get a rolling pin.
Yeah.
It's
I'll just
like,
press it harder. Yeah. Although that's one of the annoying things about Western Digital external ones is Western Digital external drives. They might be one of the quickest there are. However, their USB controller is integrated in the drive itself has a USB connector on it, so you can't swap them into a new enclosure.
oh
Yeah.
no. I
Um,
can understand why, because I
yeah.
imagine that removes one step of latency, one step of manufacturing costs, one step of
Exactly. Very
interfacing.
economical. However, it means that if you mangle that USB connector
Oh
or if the
no.
USB interface, the built-in USB to SATA controller fails, um, you're not turbo done.
Time.
There are pages and videos out there where people manage to micro solder jumper wires into the SATA lanes on the back of the drive and hook into the SATA connection.
Yeah.
So it can be recovered, but I've tried it. It's not a job for the faint of heart. It's yeah.
Oh, that
So
that
clicking
sounds
low power
despicable.
diode. I don't think it'd be the diode, Arnold. Low power, possibly, but then if you've already taken it out the enclosure and plugged it into a physical computer, that's probably not it. So
Yeah. Oh, I'm just pleased I don't have to deal with people's inability to sort out their own data too much.
Yeah. No one's ever got a backup, but you get to a point eventually where people come in with a drive and they're like, oh, this isn't working. I'm like, okay, have you got data on there that you need that isn't backed up? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, well, have a look at it. And when it's a drive where I'm expecting it to be a fail, I'll say, well, have a look at it and we'll do what we can, but I'm not holding my breath. Brace yourself for the worst. You have probably lost your data. I will try and do what I can, but
Yeah,
start bracing yourself for the worst.
yeah.
Because ugh. So
Because
uh,
it was today. Last week, I was dealing with someone at work. Nothing to do with work.
mm,
But their phone, they have a 64 gig SD card in the phone and 30 gigs of storage on the phone,
yeah.
and they had a total free space of something like 100 megabytes.
Oh wow, that's a lot of stuff on the phone.
Yeah, and they don't own a computer.
Oh no, yeah. What do you? Well, cloud services. Was it an iPhone
Right.
or Android? Oh, Android,
It,
obviously. Yeah,
it's an Android phone. But it was
yeah.
just a case, it's just like, how do you have this much content? And how is and then again, just how?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, a lot of people just work off of their phones, Like my sister, she does everything on her mobile phone. She has a laptop, but it sits connected to the TV with a HDMI cable for Netflix. Um, that's mostly what they use their laptop for, Netflix, and she just
Can
does
I
everything on her phone.
introduce this wonderful thing called a Fire Stick?
Yeah. Um, so
Or
yes,
Netflix built into the TV.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, let's see, Keith W. Talking of backups, do you think online backups are okay? And if so, which would you recommend, if any? Um, well, I don't I don't like online backups just because of the time involved in backing up, and also for me, I want a backup that I can hold in my hand, just so I can be like, this is my data, I have it. I cannot
Mm.
lose access to it. I cannot have a forgotten password. It's like I don't like encrypted backups either. Like if you're going to encrypt your laptop, fine, but encrypting your backups as well, it's a case of you can be the judge of how much of an issue that might be for you. So personally, I prefer to have a backup on an external portable hard drive, just so I've got a physical backup. However, I also use Google Drive. Basically, I recommend having both. You have a
Yeah.
physical backup that gets updated once a month, once in a blue moon, for just your everything has gone horribly wrong cold storage backup. And then you have Google Drive or something similar for your hot backup, which is, because that's running every hour and it's just incrementally saving everything as you save it, you don't have to worry about the time taken to upload it and stuff like that. So Google Drive for instant backup, and then a portable hard drive for cold storage backup is what
Yeah.
I recommend to people.
Absolutely.
However, Google Drive is always a good whenever someone says no, I don't have a backup at all and I don't know where to start, I'm like, okay, at least get Google Drive and start saving your documents and photos in there, because that
Yeah.
means that's going to get 99% of what you care about,
Yeah. Absolutely. It's like
Oh yeah,
I
Backblaze, that's a
use
good option. Yeah.
I use OneDrive to handle most of that, and I just abuse it with obnoxious upload speeds.
Mm.
But the thing that I find that's quite interesting with that is the speed of accessing stuff through OneDrive is very much limited by the size of the files.
Mm.
So if you're accessing small files, it is very, very slow. But obviously, it's worth like zipping your stuff up and so on beforehand.
Mm.
So kind of that. Certainly with OneDrive, obviously, because it's effectively versioning and effectively offsite backing up, duplicating is a better
Yes.
scripter.
Again, yeah. This is one of the reasons why I like
It's
to use Google Drive for the same
good.
reason, is because obviously I'm signed into my Google Drive account on at least 3 different PCs at any given time. I'm on this PC, my
Mm.
laptop, and my PC at home. So, like,
Yeah,
as a hot backup, that's in 3 physical locations as well as the cloud at any given time.
yeah.
And
Especially if they're set to offline.
Yeah, and not all three of those computers are ever going to be on at the same time. So
Yeah.
even if the Google Drive was compromised, as long as I find out quick enough, which I'm almost certainly going to, I can make
Yeah.
sure that one of my computers is offline, so it doesn't update with the compromised. It doesn't sync the compromised updates, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
I think
Mm,
if you're talking about multiple terabytes worth, if
mm,
you're an individual user,
yeah.
I question what that data is that actually needs backing up.
Well, this is something that I wanted to bring up on the subject of those Lassie drives. Is you mentioned about sort of I wouldn't want a hard drive with 8 terabytes of data, etc., etc. Well, that
Well,
particular
an
customer
yeah,
and other customers who I've had come in and ask before, who are small professionals doing photography and stuff like that, they have terabytes worth of data that needs to be backed up, terabytes of raw
oh yeah,
images.
I mean that
Um,
as external hard drives. I wouldn't
yeah,
want an external hard drive of 8 terabytes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That leads into
I
the
would
question of how
take
do
a
you
full
back, what is
8 drive
suitable?
NAS,
An
8
8
drive
drive NAS.
Synology NAS.
Yeah. But then the thing is RAID is not backup.
No, but you have an 8 drive Synology NAS
Hmm.
that stores your backup. You work live off of hard drives in your PC that are
Okay. Yeah.
versioned to your NAS. That's what I would do if I was a professional like that.
Yeah.
And I'd only back up, and I wouldn't back up my raw photos. I would take the raw photos, I'd
Hmm.
dump 80% of them, and then go, these are the shots that I'll ever
Hmm.
show anyone. These are the ones that get backed up.
What if they've got a laptop and you can't put and you can't put 8 terabytes of hard drives in it
Why are you working from a laptop for editing
because you
photos?
have a MacBook Pro?
I'd argue that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, but they love creative professionals, man. They got to have their MacBooks. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Then it's a case of
That's like I
it's a case of
I agree with you, but I can't
you
tell
buy
someone their $2,000 laptop is not fit for purpose.
then you buy two NASes,
Yeah,
one of them which is a dump all data to backup, and one of them which is the edited backup,
yeah,
effectively.
yeah. And Teltac, yeah, going with the S3 option again. Yeah, fair enough.
And then probably a case of with that you pay a lot of money to Backblaze or Amazon to version off your dump NAS.
Yeah. I wonder if there are any NAS setups that can back up to Backblaze or a service like that. Synology
Synology,
can.
it's
That's
built in.
because that's a really good option to have a Synology NAS that is backing up to Backblaze. That's a really swish option.
Yeah, Synology will do it to OneDrive and Google Drive, certainly. And I know they've got a lot of Amazon integration
Yeah.
stuff. So with a little bit of effort, you can
Yeah.
certainly build your own like S3 instance.
Yeah, well, that's not bad because you can get like 100 terabyte storage options for Google Drive and OneDrive, can't you?
Yes. I don't know what OneDrive's maximum is. But Google's plan is on the professional side through G Suite is unlimited. I believe
Yeah.
it's limited to something like I think it's limited to something silly like a petabyte.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still crazy amounts. But you're limited to maximum per user uploads of I think you're limited to a terabyte a day per user uploaded to OneDrive.
Yeah.
To Google Drive on a pro account.
Yeah. I mean, you'd struggle to physically move that much data anyway, unless you had some kind of
Unless you're
ridiculous.
Linus.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're
Yeah.
Linus in that one video they did.
Yeah. Yeah. I could believe that. Yeah.
But yeah. For business. OneDrive for business. Just give me sizes. I want to know how big you are. It doesn't say.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's looking for all of the other stuff. Well, but
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one. Yeah, that's either way though. Yeah, those are surprisingly obvious solutions that I had not considered. So that's kind of interesting. Cool.
If you go for the OneDrive for business plan 2, it gives you unlimited individual cloud storage. Unlimited individual cloud storage for quartering. Otherwise 1 terabyte per user.
Yeah.
It can increase to 5 storage is up to 25 terabytes per user is provisioned in OneDrive for Business. Beyond 25 terabyte storage is provisioned as 25 terabyte SharePoint Teams sites to individual.
Yeah, I mean, once you're up to like 20 terabytes or over, you're like, no, you're into enterprise territory there. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
like
Like these freaking 10 and 8 terabyte drives are bonkers. But once you go past that, you're just like, no, this is beyond. It is unreasonable to expect there to be a personal solution to this now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically all you're going to need. So yeah.
Because it's like I've got whatever the tier is called, but I've got the personal Office 365 thing that gives all of the Microsoft apps as a personal individual plus a terabyte per user, and you can share that with 5 users. So you could arguably create 5 email accounts on your domain and call them weekly backup, daily backup, monthly backup sort of thing, and just have 5 individual users, each one with like a terabyte of storage for like £80 a year.
Not bad, yeah. It's also a matter of just it's the work involved in setting that up for someone else as well, because there's a lot of solutions to this where it's just
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, but that's why you make lots of money, because you're now system architecting.
Yes, true, but yeah.
I guess my fees start at £800 an hour.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cider or something. I don't know. I'm easily swayed.
Fair enough. Right. Okay. Going back through a couple of previous stuff. What if the 10 terabyte drive gets full? Do you start deleting content? Don't know. I'm not the one who's trying to hold 10 terabytes of data. So
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Teltac, yes, that low, because I am not actually a professional. It's just a case of if someone's willing to pay me £800 an hour to set up OneDrive for them, I will happily take their £800.
Right. Earlier on, a couple of questions that went by that we'll just jump over. Astra Jade said, hi, so I got my laptop's power limit throttling fixed, but there's still some EDP throttling left for your iGPU. PLR set to 31 to 0. Would iGPU create any kinds of problems? The problem is, so now I've actually read that question a bit more carefully. I can see there was probably a little bit more history to that I've missed. However, with a laptop, if you're dealing with power limits and thermal limits in a laptop, is more or less an unwinnable fight to my knowledge, because even if you get past the power limit, you're going to go headlong into thermal limits, and the only way you're going to get past thermal limits is to water cool your laptop, which is going to, and you're into, at that point, the amount of custom work you're doing is just like, what you actually want is a desktop computer, So yeah, now I've read that question, I realize I don't actually have an answer to it. I should have read that one a little bit carefully. But yeah, power limits on a laptop, honestly, I think you're fighting a losing battle there.
Unless it's a case of it's like power limiting you to like 1.5 watts or something dumb because it's broken.
True.
And if that's the case, then that's a different question.
Yeah. Then another question came up from I Don't Know, saying, what do you think the 3080 Ti will sell for? $1,000 was the consensus, wasn't it?
The leaked MSRP from MSI was $999.
I mean, they're not going to be on sale anywhere for that price, of course, but that's what the MSRP is going to be, is almost certainly going to be.
I think they might actually appear at MSRP though.
Yeah.
Certainly at least the first batch or two.
Yeah.
Just because obviously the MSRP has been set with all of the tariffs, all of the fees, etc., that we've seen in the past year built in. So it's kind of a case of it makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see it actually appearing at that price, at least if it's only for a week or two, just because so many of the costs that have come on were brought in after the MSRPs were introduced.
Yeah. It might happen then. So yeah, it certainly seems it's possible to get stuff at close to MSRP if you're in the right place at the right time. It's just the difficulty is just being in the right place at the right time, and it's a full-time occupation, as Caradog can tell you. It's doable, but yeah, you have to be sitting. You need to be within earshot of. You need to be within earshot of
You're
at
too slow.
least Discord with notifications turned on. So the moment you hear one of the stock checker Discords go off, you can be at the checkout within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely. Right now it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that really annoyed me was I was looking at I've forgotten who makes it, the Liquid Devil 6090 XT.
Yeah. Sapphire? No, not Sapphire. No, ignore me. Who makes the Liquid Devil? Oh, it's annoying.
Oh heck. Them. And that was £1,999.
Power color.
Power color. There we go, the Liquid Devil.
Yeah.
999. Sorry, £1,999.
Oof.
Right?
So £2,000. Yeah.
£2,000. Yeah. For £1,000 card,
Yeah.
effectively. It was sold out in like 3 minutes. I was just like,
Yeah.
It's worth it, kind of.
It's worth it if you've got the money. That's the thing.
I mean, it's worth it if you want. If you're already a person who is going to be overspending by buying a 6900 XT kind of thing, it would be worth buying. But yeah, interesting side tidbit is apparently the Liquid Devil and something else. I can't remember which other one it is. But they're using different cores to the other 6900 XTs. Because they're using the 6900 XTX cores.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that so? Is that a different chip or just a super bin?
The 6900 XTX was going to be a different card. Going to be an actually different card, which is kind of what I hinted at. I can't remember, somewhere, because there were the core clock limits on the 6900 and the 6800 XT. Because they're limited to, what was it, 22550 and 3000, I think.
Yeah.
And it was basically a case of, I assumed there was going to be a 6900 XTX, which would then be effectively unlimited to whatever number you could get stable liquid light and so on. And that appears to have been the case, and that is what happened. But the actual card isn't being released because silicon shortage.
Yeah,
and instead those specific cores are going into the power color Liquid Devils.
Fair enough. Yeah, because it seems to be the case with a lot of AMD graphics cards that there's a reasonable amount of overclocking headroom, and they want to lock that out in the BIOS to stop people buying the cheap cards and just overclocking up to the expensive cards. Because that was the case with the 5000 series.
It's been a case since the 5000 series. Yes, absolutely.
So it's interesting that with the 6900 XT, they're saying, well, this is the top of the product stack, so no holds barred, man. Let it rip. Give it what you want, because there's nothing above it.
Yeah, it is now the 6900 XTX edition one is the Liquid Devils, because they're limited to 4000, which is basically going to be utterly unachievable, I would imagine, because obviously that's going to be what 1200 megahertz overclock or something on the core.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Which is
that's nuts.
So it's a case of, obviously you're not going to get that. That's not going to function even under liquid nitrogen. You're not going to get that much core increase on a modern layout. Sure, on FX and stuff, you'll get 2 gigahertz, but that's 2 gigahertz of not doing anything useful.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think FX has hit 8.1 gigahertz now, and probably has the same performance as first gen i7 at stock.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh well.
Yeah. Let's see. New $1,500 ASIC can replace 12 3080s and be more efficient. Interesting. Is that for Bitcoin or for Ethereum? Because my understanding was Ethereum couldn't be mined on an ASIC, or if they managed to crack that, because that would be a game changer. That would be very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as far as I'm aware, this Ethereum was specifically set up to be difficult to ASIC and make it so it would basically only be possible on GPUs effectively, as far as
Yeah.
my
Oh, yeah,
understanding.
that's for Ethereum apparently. So yeah, someone's managed to crack it then. But for $1,500, I should hope so. So
Then again, if it's doing the
sorry,
performance of
$15,000.
then again, if it's doing the performance of 10 or more 3080s, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That looks like value for money for big mining. So yeah. And it's not about, I mean, if it's more efficient, then that's not a bad thing, because it means they're not using graphics cards and they're using less power, less electricity. So power to them, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, £12,000 for the hash rate of 3080s.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Michael Casper, off topic, but now you've had some time with them. Do you prefer the TS100 or the Pinesil? See, that's a slightly. I'm using the Pinesil as my daily. However, the only reason why I'm using the Pinesil as my daily is just simply because it's got newer firmware on it. I need to do a firmware update on my TS100 because you can put the same firmware that the Pinesil uses onto the TS100 because the firmware I'm running on this is the old stuff and it's garbage. So I really need to firmware update this guy. Past that, they're functionally identical. I use the same tips on them, and most of the time I'm using a barrel jack connector anyway. That much being said, I did use the Pinesil on Type-C earlier on today because my barrel jack was connected to something else. I had a couple of other widgets plugged in on the desk at the same time, and I was like, I'm using my 12-volt barrel jack on something else. So I was just like, aha, I'll plug Type-C into my Pinesil. Whereas the TS100, I just wouldn't have been able to use that without getting out another power supply from somewhere, kind of thing. So I prefer the Pinesil, but if you already have a TS100, I would not bother replacing it unless you really, really want Type-C. I would just update the firmware.
When you said, oh yeah, I used it on Type-C, I thought you were going to say when it was daisy chained through the screen.
No.
That was amazing, though.
That was cool. I mean, it didn't work, but, conceptually it was
Just
cool.
how graceful all of it was.
Yeah.
It was everything that Type-C was dreamt to be.
Let's see. Can I do the firmware update now? I don't know. Maybe I could. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. That's the problem. How are we doing for time? Oh yeah, we're doing all right for the time. I was gonna take apart my stupid Dreamcast VMU, but that updating the firmware on my TS100 does sound more interesting. I might start having a look at that as we look into it. I'll get back to you in a sec on that one. I'm going to start Google searching that in the background while I go through chat. Let's see. Or failing that, I tell you what, if I might just delegate this chat. If you guys can find out how I update the firmware on my TS100, I'll do that now.
Yeah, when I first got mine, I had a very quick look at it and was just kind of like, oh, that's unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not going to bother right now.
Yeah. On the subject of soldering, Graham, what do you do about the fumes and smoke when I do soldering work? Nothing, because I'm a baddie.
Also, you work in a very large room.
Yeah, I work in a fairly large room, so it's not a big deal. I'm not sitting in an enclosed bedroom kind of thing. If you're in an enclosed space, absolutely you should be open the window kind of thing. I've seen quite a couple of people who've just got a big old 12-volt fan, like a big 140mm computer fan that they've bodged onto their desk that just blows the fumes away. And that's usually good enough because it will just cycle it up into above your head, just so it's not going up into your face, it's good enough. Like if you're doing it all day, every day, you need a proper solution to that. But
Yeah.
if you just do it every now and then, like for me personally, when I'm soldering, I either A, I hold my breath, or B, I slowly exhale while I'm soldering, and then I break and go, and inhale again, and then I go again, kind of thing. You manage it. However, yeah, I would if I was soldering every single day, I would get a little blower fan just to blow the fumes away, and
Yeah.
that'll do for now.
It's also I know that like Hako
Hako, yeah,
make
or Hako.
they make desk extractors that go through filtration systems and stuff.
Yeah, I don't
So, yeah,
know if they're obnoxiously overpriced.
I've no
Yeah,
idea. I
but
just
there
know
are
that
small little
again,
desktop
Lewis
ones you
Johnson
can
has
get.
them.
Yeah. Someone will probably say the model number of it in a minute, and I'll recognize the model number of the Hako one, or the Hako. Hako or Hako? Argue now in the chat below. Let's see. Also, there was another one. Oh yeah, Firephone says, where do I buy different solder tips for the Pinesil? I use the TS100 tips in it because the Miniware TS100 tips are quite good. You can buy them from most places like AliExpress, Banggood, probably Amazon as well. Look for the more expensive ones that are like $10 per tip or like $7 or $8 per tip. Because if you buy a pack of 5 for $10, they will be knockoff ones. And I'll show you a comparison to show you what that looks like. So let's see. Have I got it all to hand here?
Teltac actually did get his pencil.
Let's see. I'm just going to take out some tips here and I'll just show you the difference between the proper Miniware ones and the knockoff ones. The knockoff ones will work. It just depends on what you're doing as to whether they're any good or not. Right, where's my knockoff knife edge? Might have given that. I think I might have given that to Caradog actually. Oh no, that's my knockoff.
Giving me knockoff bits.
No, I didn't. I gave you the original one. I've got the knockoff in my hand.
I was going to say it looks very.
Yep. If it's got the Miniware logo on it, it's real. Yeah. These are the knockoff tips. And is that a Miniware? That's the one that came with the Pinesil.
Just in a plastic bag.
That's a knockoff, and that's my legit Miniware. Okay, right, here we go. Yeah. So, bench cam. Let's go. Brio, focus. Whoop. So, you're loving that, aren't you? Right. Get a load of this. Okay. So, firstly, here's my Miniware TS D24. So the D24 is the wedge tip or chisel tip. This is currently my weapon of choice, the D24. Now here is a knockoff D24. Can you see how much more rounded that wedge is? Is that coming out on camera? Let me go closer. Look closely. Let's go into about there. Let's try that. So I'm trying to get them next to each other on camera. There we go. So can you see how the Miniware one on the left is so much flatter and sharper?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's
that tip looks like it needs a lot of grinding.
Yeah, the problem is if you grind it, you ruin the surface, is my understanding. Because you'll see it's got some kind of coating on it. But yeah, that's the difference between an original Miniware and a knockoff. So you can see that the knockoff is not remotely sharp. And this is fine if you're doing through-hole. If you're doing through-hole on that, that's absolutely fine. However, if you're trying to get down the side of a QFN package where the amount of metal you have to solder is a fraction of a millimeter, the knockoff D24 ain't going to touch that. It's not going to get close. And again, here's another comparison. This is the Miniware TSKU. So this is the knife edge that is also one of my favorite tips. So this is one of my other favorite ones for when I need something super sharp. So that's a Miniware TSKU, a very well worn out one. And here's a knockoff one. So again, it's okay, but you can see how the Miniware one on the left, again, it's sharper, it's more tapered. It's definitely got a better edge to it. And there's more surface area to work with there. So that's the difference between, and again, from the top, it's very distinctive. You can see that the Miniware ones have much better tips on them. So yeah, and don't grind your tips, you'll just wreck it, I think. I've never tried it. I'm going to try it on one of these knockoff tips just to see what happens, because the knockoff tips, as I say, I don't particularly care about them, but that's the difference. So when you're going to buy your soldering iron tips, make sure you pay extra for the original Miniware ones, not the cheap ones where you'll get a pack of 5 for $10. So yeah, make of that what you will. Let's see.
Excuse me.
Chinese can't copy a Miniware logo. Well, yeah, they probably can. However, if they've gone to the trouble of copying the Miniware logo, they've probably gone to the trouble of making a tip that's actually not awful as well. It's like, let me put it this way: if the original is if the knockoff is indistinguishable from the original, does it actually matter? You know. But yeah, as I say, the tip is what
Oh
matters.
no, that starts becoming horrifically philosophical.
Yeah, you see what I mean? That's the thing. If they've bothered to put the Miniware logo on it, and they've bothered to make the tip nice and sharp like the Miniware ones, does it matter? So yeah, make of that what you will. So yeah, that's that.
See, you say the Chinese can knock off anything. The one thing they were apparently unable to successfully knock off was the rollerball pen. Apparently, it took something like 40 years for Chinese knockoff rollerball pens to become a thing.
Huh. How
just
odd.
Because apparently the machine tolerances in the machine, in the manufacturing equipment, were not small enough to be able to manufacture them, apparently.
So presumably the originals were being made in the West or something, or they just had really good security on their factory.
All of the original ones were being made in Switzerland, I think it was, or something. Yeah, and that was it, and it was just something along those lines. And I was just like, interesting.
How about that?
Yeah. So yeah, apparently, I mean, this was all resolved before the 90s, but it was just kind of a case of apparently there were rollerballs for so long.
Yeah. Mike Jones, I scraped it with a metal file once, and it went shiny right away. Guess it wears down, but you can clean it very nicely without flux. See, now I'm really tempted to get the Dremel.
I need to get a decent grinding disc for my Dremel.
Yeah.
Because I tried polishing something up and it did precisely bugger all.
Yeah.
Other than cut my thumb.
I abuse cutting discs. Basically, I always use the reinforced cutting discs because the other ones just shatter if you give them a hard look. But the reinforced ones, you can rub things on the side of the disc and do stupid stuff like that with them, and you can get a poor man's grinding disc. So yeah, I'm really tempted to actually try that on one of the knockoff tips now and just see what I can do with it. But yeah. I don't need to because I've got original Miniware tips. That my solution to this problem was to buy good tips. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, there's a joke about Chinese knockoffs. Someone invented the smallest drill. The Chinese copied it and sent it back to the original manufacturer with a hole drilled in it.
Yeah, there was a long game of that between drill bit. I forgot what drill bits were. Yeah. Drill bits. Between drill bit manufacturers about them making smaller and smaller drill bits. And it was a case of the thing was always going through and drilling down the middle of the previous competitor's smallest one and stuff like that. Which I thought was quite a good story.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope that's one of those stories where you're just like, I hope that's real because it's a good story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian says decently manufactured soldering tips got a few layers, outside plating over a metal with a copper core. So yeah, that makes sense. So if you were to file the tips slightly, as long as you don't go through the outer plating, you're good. But if you go too deep, then you've ruined the tip. So yeah, that makes sense. Do I watch Some Ordinary Gamers or Tim's? No, afraid not. I don't watch a lot of tech content, actually. Do I? I don't know what I do watch a lot of YouTube, but if you ask me what I watched, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd have to
Good job.
I'd have to go
I
through my
think
subscriptions
someone's
list.
found the updatey stuff. Yeah, the Iron OS files.
Oh, what
in
was
Discord?
Oh, in the Discord. Okay, one sec.
Yeah, in tech support too.
Tech support 2. Sorry, I'm mousing over your face.
Her.
Okay, right, there's a link to a video and also the Rallim firmware. Cool, right, hang on a minute. Let me get a thing open. Right. Aha, right, let's see. If I go over to Podcast Bench and I do display capture and I move that down to there, bam. Yeah, that kind of works, I guess. Hang on, let's modify that slightly. Let's reset transform and center, transform, center on screen, center on screen. There we go. Okay, please see the flashing guide and soldering, yada yada yada. Where's the download? Oh no, I zoomed. I'm using a trackpad. Flashing guide, settings. I hate GitHub so much. Where's the download link? This is, we're in documentation. Okay, IONOS. Pull requests, code, go to file. This is why I hate GitHub. Okay, Teltac's about to get really mad with me.
Why did you not just click the link?
What link where? Which one where? Where was it? You tell me. Hang on a sec. Go back. Let me go back to documents.
The link in the Discord. Click the link that takes you directly to the releases. Click the little.
Okay, the releases link wasn't there a moment. The releases wasn't there a moment ago. Okay.
Or you just go to releases and then click.
See, where is releases? Where you open it up and tell me where releases is on the screen. Hang on a sec. Let me clear all the things so we can all see it. Let's get rid of all of this. There we go. Where is releases? Where is the download link? You tell me. This is why I hate GitHub. Where is the releases? I don't know. I don't even have the chat in front of me. So, oh, not that one, and that one. Right. Let me get the chat up so I can see Teltac. Yeah. Right-hand side releases. Oh, see, it's not green code. See, code just takes me to the code.
On the right-hand side, there's literally a thing that says releases with 56 next to it.
Releases 56. Okay, there's releases. Okay. Right, okay, here we are. Now we're getting somewhere. All right.
No.
Releases.
Oh, God.
Yep. I feel like I know I'm the one going insane here, but if I can't figure this out, it's not clear enough. Assets.
At the bottom of the message with the release in.
Assets. See, why can't there just be a download button? Why can't it just say download?
Because what do you want to download? Because there are
the heckin'
several
thing,
different versions.
The thing.
Which thing?
I see. You've changed, Caradog. You used to hate GitHub like me.
I still do, but they made it easier by people actually producing releases with actual releases in, as opposed to the complete mess that there was for a lot of projects a while ago, where there was just nothing.
Yeah. Okay, I will concede that I was not seeing the releases button on the right because it used to be along the top. It used to be along the top menu and they've moved it. So yeah. All right. Also, Teltac, I regret nothing. I regret nothing.
It is nowhere near as good as it should be.
Yes.
However...
Okay, right. I've got a whole bunch of hex and bin files. So let's go to that. Where's that guide. Let's back up from here again. Let's start flashing guide. Right, flashing guide. Okay, right. Main source of releases. Download the zip file that matches your make and model soldering iron and extract it. You will then need to use the appropriate file type of your unit. Miniware irons are hex and pine sol is bin. Okay, let's check those. TS100. So I want en.hex. So that's the file I want. So I'm going to stick that in my ROM dumps folder. Miniware irons, TS100. This is completely safe, but it goes wrong. Just put the hex file. Downloads for hex file.
I think you should absolutely change your soldering iron to Polish.
No, I refuse. Right, hang on a sec. I'm just going to skip back to the chat again. Do we need to pile up a bunch of Teltac teachers ground to tech? No. All right, Caradog, I'm putting you in charge of chat for a sec while I figure out how to do this. And if anyone doesn't like what we're doing, blame whoever it was in chat who was like, update your iron now. It's their fault.
So we're just blaming Graham. That's fine.
I agreed to do it. It wasn't my idea. I'm getting a mini B cable.
See, the other thing you should do is, retrofit a USB-C to your TS100.
If only someone made a soldering iron that had a barrel jack and a Type-C connector on it. That would be amazing. It would have both the two connectors that you generally want to use on it on a single iron. I would buy a soldering iron that had that. Right. I'm going to have to get chat up on one side just so I can see reactions, if nothing else.
People are just complaining.
Yeah, there's probably a big old battle between people who are just like, there's nothing wrong with GitHub, we'll call them Team Teltac, and all the people going, GitHub is annoying and stupid, which we'll call Team Graham.
Oh, I thought you were going to say one which we'll call Team Teltac, and the other one we'll call Team Correct.
Right. Whoop. Focus. Focus. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I plugged it in. It says config. Right. Let me see. Thompson Lover says you bought a TS100 and the HM305 on my recommendation. You love them. Glad you get on with them, man. As I say, even though I'm using the Pine Sol as my daily these days, I still think the TS100 is fantastic. And if you have one of these, you're doing absolutely fine. Incidentally, I do recommend updating the firmware on it though, which is what we're doing with this one. But yeah, the HM305 power supply is doing me grand as well.
Yes, I feel like there is also a third category, which is what is a GitHub.
Yeah. Ah, okay. The unit appears as a USB drive. Drag the hex file onto the USB drive. The unit will disconnect and reconnect. Really? Wow. Okay. This is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Right. Okay. Hang on a sec. So let's display capture. So go back to my ROM dump. So I'm going to copy that. So Control C. Right, so drag the hex file onto the USB drive. Paste. There's not enough space on the USB drive. You need an additional 94K. What do? What do? Hold the button before you plug it in. Oh, okay, hold up. Hold the button closest to the tip and plug it in. Okay, yep, all right. Instructions unclear. Instructions unclear. Instructions unclear. Like, if anyone is watching this going, you fucking idiot. Look, I'm spinning a lot of plates here. I don't want to be that guy because now and then I'm watching like Dave Jones from EEV blog doing something in a video and he's going, oh, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you fucking idiot, you know. I don't want to be that guy here. So for the record, I apologize. So...
Mummy, his daddy left us. No, sweetheart. He's just trying to download a file from GitHub.
Okay, right. Hold the button closest to the tip. That's the A button. Okay, I'm holding. I've got to show you guys every step of the way. Display capture off. All right, holding the A button. Plug in. DFU. Aha. Okay. So previously it came up with config, and it had. Aha. Look at that. So display capture, now it's got an empty one, so there's more space. So let's Control V, copying file. It turned off, and now it's come up as ready. Okay, the file name will have changed to ready or ERR. Error, the ERR is presumably error. ERR. Okay, if it ends in ready, you're done. Otherwise, something went wrong. If it didn't work, try copying again. Disconnect the USB and power up the iron. You're good to go. Damn far. Okay, right, here we go then. Right, so disconnect the iron, then power up the iron. Let me just grab my power cable. Settings were reset. Okay.
No, my custom config.
Yeah, there we go. It's got new firmware on it now. We've got no tip. Let me plug in a tip to see if it actually heats. That was significantly easier than I thought it was going to be. I'll plug in my used TSKU. I have too many tips. All right. Get the angle right on that. Oh, of course I don't have a... Oh, I do. There we go. That's the other thing that annoys me about the TS100 is that it's got a Torx screw on it instead of a Phillips. Oh well, right. Now update the Pinsel's firmware. I guess I could. I mean, is there any benefit though? Is there anything new in the update? There we go, it's heating.
Now includes Doom 64.
It now thinks it's a vibrator. Oh no. Cool. Right, so we've got the shiny firmware. The tip is smoking because it hasn't been used in a while. And yeah, this is rad. Cool, right. Okay, let's reset. And yeah, look at that. Oh, it's got the cool menu in it that's actually legible. User interface, temperature unit. And if I wait on that, it'll go C equals Celsius. F equals Fahrenheit. There we go. Did it. That's how you update the firmware on a TS100.
Not having a good time with refreshing the display.
What was that, sorry?
It's not having a good time refreshing that display.
Oh, the flicker is not visible to the naked eye. That's just the camera. Can the display be changed for left-hand usage? I think it can. However, let's find out, shall we? I hope you guys find this stuff interesting. We're just doing what the chat comes up with at the moment. People are just like, update your firmware. So I'm like, okay. Let's see. I'm going to move that over there just so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Config, power settings, soldering settings, sleep mode. It's going to be in user interface, isn't it? Temperature, display orientation. There we go. Now it's set up for a lefty. Apparently it's got an automatic mode. Does the automatic actually work? Oh, cooldown blink. Let me go around again. Advanced options. Oh, damn it. Power settings, soldering, sleep, user interface, orientation, automatic. All right, so that's that. Let's clear out of that. All right. And so now, if I turn it around, yeah, that's rad. It is automatic. Oh, it stopped being automatic. It was automatic for a moment, and then it went over to right-handed again, and now it won't come off of right-handed. Well, try that again. No, it is decided.
What
oh, there we go.
Orientation. Soldering out.
Automatic mode is sketchy as hell, man. It changed for a moment then, and then it changed back. Don't put it on automatic. Yeah, automatic is bad. Yeah, automatic is bad. It's super, yeah. Annoying mode is that, oh, look, now it's gone back to left-handed. Now I've put it right-handed. Automatic is bad. Pick one. Now I need to change that now because that's going to drive me up the wall. For a moment, I was like, oh yeah, I'll leave it on automatic. That's a great idea. There we go. Right-handed. There we go. That'll do. All right, yeah, that's it. Sounds like a feature.
Sounds like a feature defaults to right-handed only.
Because that's the correct way.
What are you, the Catholic Church?
Actually, yeah, I retract my joke.
I don't want to be associated with those people.
Indeed. Yeah, there we go. Right. I'm not going to bother updating my Pinesill. I can't be bothered. The Pinesill has got good firmware on it. I don't care. But still, that's interesting. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I assumed that I'd have to download some kind of updater app and install a serial driver, you know, and all of that nonsense. Australia mode.
A serial driver so you can get your Frosties.
Only uses the rest sensor. Okay, yeah. Greetings from Germany. Thank you very much to Chris. How's it going? Right. Put strength, then flip. Good. I think we're mostly up to date. I think. Yeah. Let's see. What do you think of making live streams with a live repair? No, basically. You can do live stream repairs if you're doing something and either A, you know exactly what you're doing and how to fix it, or B, you have the means to account for any eventuality. So let's take, for example, Lewis Rossman popularized live streaming repairs. However, and Lewis Rossman is fixing MacBooks, and he has got a dozen identical breaker boards to get parts from. He's got most of the common parts that he might need already, and he's experienced enough to be able to just do windscreen wiper repair. And the windscreen wiper method is where you just, if a section is not working, you just clear the entire section of the board and put new parts on all of it. So whatever happens, he's prepared for that eventuality. I don't have that kind of facility, basically. So yeah, it's a cool idea, but it's very, very difficult to actually be prepared for that. I do like just fiddling with things where it doesn't matter if I win or lose. I like the idea, which is why I've kind of set up the bench cam, just so I can do that. The Coda does like live repairs. Yeah, that's another option because yeah, the Coda does he does consoles and DSs and stuff like that. So yeah, again, if you're prepared for it, it works. But yeah, live repairs are not my cup of tea because also I'd have to be doing it in the evening. Otherwise, I'm going to get interrupted by customers all the time. Because the other thing as well is I'm very rarely working on one thing at a time. I'm usually fixing like 2 or 3 times things at the same time at any given time. So yeah, it kind of depends.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. Can you power limit that thing without any USB Type-C power source? Do you mean the Pinesill? Or just the TS100 in general, the soldering irons? Because yes, you can current limit you can current limit or voltage limit the soldering irons to run them at a lower power rate.
Is that built into the actual iron? So can you set the iron to only draw a certain amount?
I don't think you can. I think they generally assume that the iron will just draw what you give it. And yeah, personally, I don't see why you'd do otherwise. If you want the iron to run at a lower power level, give it a smaller power source, basically. Yeah, because yeah, it will deal with what you give it. If you plug in a low power thing, so where's my? Now a sec. One such example. So one such example of a lower power thing is here's my battery setup. So bench setup. So if I'm going mobile and I'm running my soldering iron mobile, 1, 2, 3, I will probably be running it off of this battery, which is a 4-cell LiPo battery. And so let's take, we'll take the Pinesill because it's just come to hand. So if I plug the Pinesill in, as you can see, we've got 19 volts indicated there because we're on a 19-volt adapter. So it's currently 19 volts DC. And if I unplug that and I plug in this 4-cell battery and then plug that in, it now says 17 volts because that's what this is up to. And it's showing 17 volts DC jack. Because apparently this thing is running 17 volts. That sounds heckin', don't know what the hell I charge. Oh, it's at about like 16.8 volts, so it's rounded up to 17 because this thing is fully charged and it will charge up to about 16.8 volts. So yeah. So that's how you power limit them basically. They'll just work with what you give them. And generally speaking, you want to run at as much power as you can. I mean, I suppose if you wanted your battery to last longer, you might want to limit it, but I don't know, man. You get a couple of hours use out of a LiPo battery like that. If you had a big beefy LiPo battery, like I can't see any situation where you'd need to limit it. So you can tweak it in the config. Interesting, but I don't see how that would work. I suppose you can tell it what's connected, but even if you set it to like 9 volts in the config, you're still plugging in a bigger power source. I'll give it one more look, just because I'm curious, and I'm just like, I want to clarify that in my brain now. So let's zoom again, just so we can see the screen more clearly.
I think it'd be more of a case of limiting the current draw.
Yeah, that would make sense. Let's see. Config, power source DC, QC voltage. I suppose it's power source, isn't it?
Probably.
So you can tell it you've got a 3-cell battery. So power source sets cutoff voltage. Yeah, see, I think this is just cutoff voltage. It just tells it. So if I tell it that I'm connected with a 4-cell, if I tell it I'm connected with a 4-cell battery, so let me go around it. Damn it, one more time. See, if I tell it I've got a 4-cell battery, then it will only let the input voltage go down to a certain level before it switches off. It's under advanced. Oh, okay, hold up. Soldering
it
settings.
Having a voltage cutoff based off of the battery sources.
Yeah,
Quite
power limit. Oh, I just went past it. How's set? Calibrate temperature, calibrate pulse power. Oh, this is a very difficult menu to navigate. User interface advanced. There we go. Power limit. 5 watts. Oh, there you go. Yeah, power limit. So that's not going to limit voltage. That's just going to limit the current draw it's set to. So yeah, you can set it at 5 watt increments. So yeah, that's cool. So so if you do want to preserve power, you could limit the. So if you were running it off of a battery, you might want to limit the power to say 30 watts or something like that, just to lower the impact on the battery. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if that was there on the old TS100 firmware, because I haven't really explored the good one. Yeah, voltage is not a good limiter, so I'm not surprised that it's doing it by wattage. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that the custom firmware? It is. Yes, we just it's what the Pinesil comes with. However, we just put the same firmware on my TS100 as well, just for shiggles. Thought it ran at 12 volt. It can run at whatever you give them. The TS100 has a range of 12 to 24. The Pinesil says 12 to 21 on the side, but apparently they'll go as low as 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, on TS100 you can change the config file on the PC. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. It's just a pain in the ass. But thankfully with the custom firmware, you can do it on the Iron now. But yeah, I wouldn't want to change the I mean, I guess you could change the config file on the PC if you're going to run one settings. But in my opinion, the point of these irons is the fact that it's all self-contained in the handle. If you have to start configuring them from another device, that kind of defies the point in my opinion. But yeah. Yeah. Started out as custom firmware with the TS100, but now available for other irons. Yeah. It seems like the pine sill is definitely where it has gained, where it's popularized. Because yeah, Pine 64 are making a lot of stuff. I'm kind of curious as to how Pine 64's smartwatch is doing. Because I nearly bought the Pine 64 smartwatch this week. But in the end, I had it in my basket and I was like, because it was like $25, but then it was going to be like another $30 postage or something like that. And I was like, no, I can't be
Also,
asked.
as far as I'm aware, it doesn't do anything currently.
There is firmware for it now. You can buy it with working firmware on it, and presumably it shows notifications and stuff like that. However, what stopped me from buying it is that it is still intended to be purchased by a developer. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was a case of last time I looked at it, it didn't do anything.
Yeah, it does do stuff
had
now.
Literally nothing in it because they were gone. Here is smartwatch hardware.
Yeah.
Go build software for it.
Yeah, there is now software for it. Because that was announced very recently. But as I say, the thing is that software, like updating it is a pain in the ass, and it's a case of you need it really. If you're not a developer, you shouldn't buy it. So
yeah, basically that fits in with a lot of Pine stuff. It's just a case of you probably shouldn't be buying it.
Yeah,
unless you're actually reasonably far down the rabbit hole already and know why you're buying it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes, I find this stuff very interesting though.
Yeah, it's mainly just because it's so cheap. Is the thing, they're making
part of that is obviously the case of they have zero development costs for software.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to start taking my VMU apart because I still want to do this while we chat.
But yeah, so that obviously helps a reasonable amount. And then I'd imagine it's kind of a case of they're putting themselves as super low priority orders with manufacturers. So whenever the manufacturer kind of has space, they'll fit them in. But otherwise, there's no specific delivery time.
Yeah.
So it's a case
that probably
of
explains why the deliveries are so intermittent from them, because some people get their stuff in a really, really quickly, and some people's stuff gets delayed for ages.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of a case of just kind of that basically, and just
oh, that's not too bad.
They're just listed as super low priority orders.
Yeah, you were looking at the Pine Sill because it's cheaper than TS100. Yeah, that's more or less why I'm recommending it as well. It's cheaper and more versatile. As I've mentioned it already, but if you already have a TS100, stick with it. It's a great iron. If you don't have a soldering iron, then I would recommend the Pine Sill.
Absolutely.
That's basically my opinion on that. However, both of them, considering they use basically the same tips, actual performance in them, there's basically nothing in it. Like I can pick any one of them up and do whatever I want with it, kind of thing. There's, I haven't used the Pine Sill and been like, oh man, the TS100 would have managed this by now. It's not like getting a different hot air station where the differences can be night and day. So yeah.
Because you've already done the upgrade up to in-tip heating.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the biggest upgrade, or the point that most people see the biggest upgrade is the fact of obviously going to in-tip heating from it kind of being the like in-handle heater arrangement, which takes 5 minutes to get warm and has zero heat capacity.
Yes. Yeah, in-tip heating is a different world. I mean, unless you've got a really good in-handle heater soldering iron, but those are like the big expensive Heikos that cost hundreds of dollars, and the tips cost hundreds of dollars.
Very interesting. I just assumed as a layperson that all of the sort of more expensive ones, all of the proper brand ones, for want of a better description, would have just been in-tip heating ones.
I believe they are these days, but there's lots of people who've got There's lots of people who've got old Heikos, you know, before in-tip heating was a thing, that are probably still perfectly good. And yes,
Yeah.
this is a Dreamcast VMU I'm fiddling. I've got my old Dreamcast out, but I went to put new batteries in the VMU and found that the old batteries in it, the old battery has leaked and it's made a mess of all the contacts. So I'm like, I'm going to try and clean this up before I put it in.
I have no idea where my Dreamcast has gone.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with this really. I need some sandpaper or something to sand this down. So yeah, I'm using window and glass, which is a vinegar-based cleaner. So I don't have any pure vinegar, but I'm using a vinegar-based cleaner.
I'm pretty sure you said at one point that you weren't going to do anything messy on that mat.
This is only glass cleaner. I'm not
And
soldering
vertebrae.
on it. If I was, hold on.
I'm sorry, just because I'm holding you to your own standards.
Yes. Yes. There we go.
Oh dear. I do need to get myself one of those ginormous desk pad majobbies though. Just because having two large mouse mats is very annoying.
Yeah, I haven't seen coin cells like this leak it before either. However, these coin cells have been in there. I mean, I would have put them in there when I bought this Dreamcast. I bought it secondhand. I bought it secondhand probably 17 years ago. So yeah, Dremel wire brush. I might have one actually. That's a good idea because I don't have any steel wool or sanding paper at the moment. But I might have a steel brush, my Dremel. Let me find my Dremel accessories kit.
It's okay, Si. I'll let you order one of those.
Order one of what? What's he talking about?
A Caradog face desk mat.
No. If I don't approve of a body pillow, but maybe a blanket.
Why, you want me to smother you?
There it is. There is one in there. The Dremel accessory kit that Caradog bought for the shop at one point. And it has got a wire brush in it. So I can actually clean this up. Right nice, I can.
Oh yeah, because I bought you a kit because I was fed up of you not having the parts.
Well, now I've got the parts.
Yes.
So you don't need to buy me a kit.
What?
Oh, that's not wire. I'm not sure if that's a wire brush or not, actually. I'm not sure if that's nylon or not.
You've also got like a sanding stone and like stuff.
Cut-off wheels, polishing, sanding. Yeah, the sanding discs might do the job if this bristle doesn't. I'll try the bristle on it. That might be enough.
The bristle at 15,000 RPM.
30,000 RPM. It's a proper Dremel, not some knockoff rubbish.
Oh.
I've even got the official Dremel stand.
That's impressive. Given you buy knockoff everything else.
Knockoff is usually all right.
1 second.
Yeah. Right. I'll do it up here. We'll do revolving bench cam. So let's do that. I might be able to show you guys what I'm doing because I'm kind of experimenting with these camera views just to see what works. Right, if I do that and then I do that.
I bought the modern equivalent of your one, so it's a case of it's the battery powered one.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, that's quite clever.
I kind of want to buy a modern Dremel, just because my one is a very old model. Let me move this light. So yeah, right. Does this work? Can you guys? Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing, so I can do this. Caradog, you're in charge of chat again.
Oh dear. I half expected you to just carry it over, but then I forgot you had a wired one.
Yeah, and also like it's wired, and I could lift this up, but I've got the cable plugged in under the counter and everything, and this is actually a ball ache to move now. I actually took the effort to set up a bench with power tools on it, but that is really useful, but also makes them more difficult to move. So
Indeed. But
yeah.
yes. I need to get on the list of like accessories for them. Just to actually see if there's anything where you're just like, oh yeah, these are actually useful, whether I'm just like this seems awfully expensive for a different version of the tool you already supply
I'm gonna
with
mute
the
myself super quick.
Whee! Angry 30,000 RPM noises. I don't know if by muting himself he also can't hear. Because it's the point where, you just reveal all the secrets or something.
I can't actually hear anything you're saying.
Oh, good. Excellent. This is the time we do the grand reveal or something.
I'm going to mute again.
I find it very difficult to describe what the Dremel is, though, without describing it as a Dremel. Because it's like, what actually is the tool? Because they can't be Dremels, because how do you have generic ones? Yes, a Monty Python skit.
It's a rotary multi-tool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So the nylon brush disc did absolutely bugger all. However, the sanding disc seems to be doing a good job. I refocus. So that's what we're starting off with. And I've just done this side, and that's just burnished up to, like, it's not exactly smooth, but at least that's actually shiny, exposed metal now. So that'll do. So
You just use the edge of a cutting disc for that.
I could have, yeah, I could have just used the edge of a cutting disc for that, which is exactly why what I normally do. So yeah. Whatever. Okay. Background noise reduction. Don't fail me now.
I feel like this might be horrid. Yes, Dremel is indeed a brand name, as evidenced by that. Or there. I'm not actually sure where the center of the frame is for the podcast. Oh, I was reasonably close. Fine. But yes, going off of something like electric handheld multi-tool with grinding and cutting accessories seems like a very long-winded way of saying Dremel.
Well, we don't use vacuum cleaners. We use Hoovers.
You might.
Yeah.
We use Dysons.
Oh, that's the true middle class response, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, okay. You can get battery corrosion off by boiling it in water with some citric acid. Well, I just got it off with a Dremel and a sanding wheel. So yeah, that'll do.
Yes, you might. We just pay someone to do it.
Right. What's been going on while I was Dremeling things?
Discussions of
What is a Dremel?
yes, basically.
Fair enough. Right. There's the small screw. I'll put that back in.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping that this thing has got something saved on it. I don't know if oh no, I suppose this thing probably has volatile memory, so it's probably lost its contents.
How do you change the battery then?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, no, it must be non-volatile. I think you just need the battery for the screen and stuff to work.
That's what I would presume.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tweak that a bit. There we go. That'll probably do it. Which way does that turn? That'll do. I'm very excited to see if I actually had any games on this thing. Because, as I say, I can't power up my Dreamcast because I can't find my SCART to HDMI upscaler.
I have a SCART to HDMI cable, just a passive cable that came with my Samsung TV.
Does it work?
I presume so, because Samsung provided it.
I wonder if the TV has got some kind of fancy electronics in it.
That's what I'm presuming.
Because you can't do that in a cable unless the cable has got like a box in it somewhere.
I think it's in a drawer just over there, so 2 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds like a weird-ass cable, man. Do we play on Stadia? I've never used a Stadia. I'm interested in the platform from a technology perspective, but for how well Google are treating it, I have zero interest in it because it should have been a Netflix-style subscription service. God, I hate opening up battery packs so much. Give me the cell. There we go. All right, which way around does this go? Positives high. Pound max. Only the best CR2032s for my VMU.
There you go. I very much presume that it's all done in TV.
Yeah, must be. Unless they've got some really small electronics in that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But it was just the fact of when I saw it, I was bamboozled.
Oh, nothing's happening, man. Nothing's happening. Is it kill? I think it's dead. Oh, man.
Oh, the battery's the correct way round.
I'll double check just in case. I'll be really sad if this thing actually just straight up doesn't work. Pound shot batteries. Yeah, I mean, maybe these cells are crap. They were like the cheapest ones I could find. I wonder if it's worth just jumping 6 volts into that. Yeah, but it probably wants 6 volts because it's 2 cells. But yeah. Big shock, SCART could do digital HD all along. Yeah, but was anything actually outputting digital HD to it? That's the question there. Let's see, DJ Davey. Hi guys, I'm building on a budget and you're considering a GameMax AIO instead of an air cooler for a Ryzen 5 3600. If it's a 240mm one, sure. But if it's one of the 120mm GameMax ones, just go with an air cooler. The only thing that the 120mm AIOs are good for is pimp value. That's about it, to be honest. So,
and I'd argue they're not particularly good for that.
Yeah, kind of, because anyone who knows about cooling knows that it's just pimp value. Yeah, it's not a bad connection. All right. Let's power supply up. I'm going to get my on-screen thing going.
GameMax Ice Chill 120 is £50 basically.
£50. Yeah. You can get a nice Be Quiet air cooler for that kind of money.
You can get you can get a Pure Rock Slim for 25 quid.
Yeah.
Or for like £9 more, you can get yourself a Dark Rock 4.
Yeah.
So it's a case of I'd rather have one of them. Or like is it Fuma 2? Fractal Fuma 2? I will have to double check. For
This device does not have the... Oh, damn it.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, something like that.
My flashy on-screen DC power supply has moved to a different COM port. And now I need to fix it to make it work. Device
Oh,
manager.
Sive Fuma, that was it.
Right, it has moved to COM 8. Where even is the
Yeah,
software for this?
Oh wow, but it's like £70. That's a lot of money. I would not want to spend that much money on that. Yeah, certainly if you're being cheap, no, I'd rather get like a yeah, something like a Pure Rock 2 or Dark Rock 4. Yeah, or maybe like a D14. Then Noctua, I think D14 might be about that price as well. Sorry, U14. It's about £57. It's a little bit much. If you're aiming for a budget build, I guess.
I'll be back with you guys in a moment. I'm trying to figure out how to make my on-screen power supply thing. Oh, WS Comset, that's the file I need to change.
Although, yes, indeed, it depends on how tight your budget actually is.
COM 8, there we go.
So obviously, if you've got that smaller budget, it's also a case of possibly just worth actually using the Wraith cooler that comes in the box, because they're certainly good enough for effectively free coolers that are just included in the price of the processor.
Yeah. Limit amps before you fry the device. Yeah, don't worry. Right, so now, let's see. So let's change that to, oh, if I can remember how to use my power supply. 6. And power off. Let's see. Amp set, 2 amps. Yeah, let's just drop that down. I'd be a bit worried if it was pulling 2 amps. No idea what to give it actually. Let's give it 1 amp, that'll do. Okay, so the bottom one is negative. Heck. You know, I might just viciously bend that up for a sec.
Violence.
Get on there. There we go. Right. And I need to expose my plug. Sometimes I hate crocodile clips.
Why are your plastic chibi bits so long?
No idea. It's useful though because it just means they can't, you know, if the cables just fall down the side, they don't accidentally knock together and stuff like that. Although this is horrendous and I need to deal with it. And
so it's basically not possible to clip
yeah,
stuff.
this one is really bad actually. Good grief, what has happened to this thing? It's really hard to fix them when they get like this, and it's
That has gone on a journey.
Gosh heck it. Ah, what about that? There we go. Of course, I'm doing this while the power supply is on, like any good professional would.
My concern is more the fact of you
Sure.
using your nice screwdriver for that.
Well, if that damaged it, it wouldn't be a very good screwdriver. Consider that. There we go. Right, there is definitely 6 volts going into that device, and the power supply is saying there's no load, and it's not coming on.
Whack, whack, whack.
Yeah. All right. I'll take it apart again and see if I can see anything in there. Whoop. It's going a little bit closer again.
Zoom, enhance.
1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Right. Where were we? These are pass mark benchmarks. Oh no. Yeah. Oh no. Mike Jones, these are pass mark benchmarks. Doesn't matter the OS, it calculates raw performance core for core. So technically the M1 is the best CPU on the planet.
I guess it's the best for running Passmark.
Do I trust third-party Win 10 keys at all? I do, because they generally work whenever I use them. Once you're activated, you're laughing. Oh, you know what? I think there's your problem.
Have you not actually connected it?
Yeah, see.
Is that what we're going to find out? You've forgotten to actually plug it in.
I think this bit here is supposed to bend down and contact that pad.
So the batteries weren't actually connected.
Yeah, so I think it had no negative. Like, you would imagine that the negative connection would be on that screw hole, but I think it actually relies on that spring pad. Yeah, it does. Well, that's a jolly silly design, isn't it? I can't help but feel this is someone else's fault but my own.
Of course you'd say that. That absolves you of responsibility for your actions.
Quite so. Wonder why they did it like that and not just have the screw point be the negative. Because then you'd literally be screwing the negative rail down.
Sega? I don't know. Because Sega.
There we go. That's actually contacting now. Let's try that again. Sega. I'm sad that I missed Slink streaming earlier on because I wanted to see if the new Pokemon Snap was any good. I never played the original, but I'm familiar with it as a game.
It seems to be good for Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
If that concept seems like a fun game to you, then sure, they don't seem to have massively broken it.
Okay, here we go. Well, I try not to short circuit the batteries. Right, here we go. Here we go. And
this time it works.
Wabba! Wah, 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 wah. God damn it. I just wanted to use my VMU, man. Just solder this freaking pad. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. I'm going to actually power this thing up outside of the case. I keep doing this thinking, oh, it just needs a little bit of help and it'll work. Sonic Worm's got a question. Do tell. Dream crap? No, Arnold, how could you? Oh, I should probably take the batteries out first.
I mean, I don't actually quite follow the story of why Sega stopped so abruptly from the consoles, given that the Dreamcast actually did reasonably well.
Yeah.
Wasn't the Dreamcast the best-selling console the year of its release or something like that?
Ooh, not sure. I'm the wrong person to be asking. Someone else in chat might know. Oh, hello, Paige.
And there's Paige. Hi, Paige.
Hey, Paige.
as if summoned.
Did the Dreamcast do well? Did the Dreamcast do well, Paige? And yes, I'm fixing my VMU. I've cleaned up the contacts, however, it doesn't work, so I'm trying to fix it at the moment. Right, I might actually just desolder the little piezoelectric speaker so I don't have to worry about that. I'm turning on the soldering iron. All right, here's the question. Shall I use the Pine Sol or the TS100, everyone? Plot twist.
Which one's
there's,
still got which
there's
one's
no
still got a tip
difference.
in it?
They both have tips on them. It makes no difference. I'm using the pencil.
Oh,
Okay, I'll
that shows
Google
a preference. There
I
you
actually
go.
quite
Yep.
like the little rubber grip. Oh, Paige is Googling it. Dreamcast sold 9.1 million units. Well, that sounds like a lot.
That sounds certainly like enough to continue making them.
Am I in focus? I have no idea if I'm in focus. Actually, hang on a sec. Let me. No, I won't give myself a full screen view because then I won't be able to see chat or anything.
Full screen. Oh no!
Right, now that's out of the way, I can take the rest of this thing apart. How are we doing for time?
That's a shame.
Oh no, it's 2 hours 20. Why do I do this to myself?
Every time.
Yeah, we're over time, and I'm taking an old toy to bits again. Piracy killed it. Yeah.
Interesting.
After you repair this, can you mod the Dreamcast to HDMI? Is such a thing even possible? Serious question.
Yes. There are actual hardware mods for it.
That sounds heckin' rad.
There's also hardware mods for the original PlayStation that extracts the video straight out of the video chip or something.
Oh no. Okay, here comes the horror shot, everyone. See the chip legs in there behind that capacitor?
No, I don't, because it's out of focus.
See the brown capacitor in the middle of the screen? Row of silver pins.
And the brown pins.
Yeah, brown pins.
Oh dear. You also appear to have some growth coming up off of the circuit board.
Right, are these just zebra strips? Yeah, I think I can just pull the screen off. I think that's just zebra strips. That's pretty well stuck on. I'm 99% certain that's just a zebra strip and it should just pull off. I'm just trying to catch up on chat while I do this. Water damage, leaky battery.
Wiggle.
This bastard ruined my VMU. Heat with flux in the pencil. Yeah.
The thing that I wonder if it will still work as a memory unit, because I know it worked as a memory card without the batteries.
Yeah. I'd have to I suppose I could power up. That might be interesting actually, to power it up in the controller, because I can turn on the Dreamcast and just give it power through the controller and see if it turns on. I don't know if I want to try and turn it on now I know that's there though, because that single chip does everything. How did the corrosion get up there? I suppose just some moisture might have gotten in there. Okay. Right, let's see. Yeah, now a cracked screen. That's what I want to avoid. Have to take the screen off, pins I believe on both sides. Yeah, do you reckon heat that up, Arnold? I'm kind of tempted just to get a Stanley blade and just run a Stanley blade along there, because as I say, that's a zebra strip, so it should just come off. I don't think it's I think it's just a bit of glue holding it on. Just gonna gently, yeah, those zebra strips are coming off with a little bit of encouragement. There we go, there's one side. Yeah, we're fine. They just need a little bit of encouragement. There we go. So these are just zebra strips. It's just carbon wires through there. So once that goes on, it will be a bit of compression on the top of it should sort that out. There we go. There's our problem. So let's see. So there's our VMU. Potato. What?
Wait, what? What?
That's what's inside a VMU, everyone.
is a
literal
potato.
potato. However, yeah, that's not great. So yeah, I might just be able to scrub that clean. I might be right. You know, Dreamcast had absolutely zero anti-piracy measures because the company thought that nobody would have discs big enough to watch CDs. Oh dear. Yeah. Hello DVD. Yeah. I mean, the GD-ROM was a bit of a weird animal, but I believe it was fairly easy to. Yeah, they underestimated things. Right, I've just squirted some glass cleaner on that. Oh, let me focus. Focus.
Zoom enhance.
Heckin' Logitech settings. Oh man. Oh, that's bad, man. Oh, those pins are gone, ski. Those pins are gone, man. That's oh. Okay. I mean, a reflow with the iron might bring that back. Remember to brush your teeth.
Oh. Today we learned potatoes can conduct electricity.
Yeah. That's gonna need mod wires.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's not for the faint of heart, that one. I wonder, yeah. You know, I'm gonna give that a little bit of hot air. I'm gonna give that some flux and some hot air and just see if we can just boil the corrosion out of that. Like, we're going no guts, no glory here. This thing is toast. So let's see if we can untoast it. Right. What the hell is that? For people just tuning in, this is a Sega VMU, which is the active memory card for a Sega Dreamcast. Flux. Bleh.
All this for like a 25-year-old. Yeah, 25-year-old memory card.
Let's see. 380 degrees? I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along.
180.
Oh, it's frying tonight in there. It's crackling.
Oh, Lord. It's frying tonight. Well, then.
All right. I'm giving that some heat. I think I need to go in there with a soldering iron, though, to actually do anything useful. The problem is there's nothing to solder to. Those contacts are gone. So, like, I'll go in there and I'll just try and reflow, but there's nothing to flow. I think it's cactus. Do I need to focus out or in? That looks a bit better. Let it cool, then alcohol, then pine sol. Okay, let's give it a whirl.
You answered the question. Does
Still too hot.
Dreamcast run on a potato?
Clean the rust first. Yeah. Dreamcast came out in '99. Yeah, Japan got everything super early.
Oh, man. I thought it was earlier than that. Huh, fair enough.
There we go. All right, alcohol.
Yeah. Man, they were super early though with the internet connectivity stuff though.
Yeah, I wish the broadband adapters would have been more prevalent. They're still out there, but they're still like hen's teeth. They're like £140 for a broadband adapter now.
Yeah.
And like,
as far as
again,
I'm
that just would
aware-
have made them so usable. Right, we've got something that's a bit cleaner now.
Yeah. And as far as I'm aware, they basically, they basically were Japan only.
Oh, you know what? That's coming up.
I'm coming up.
Let's get a bit closer there just to see what we're up against here. You know, I think the soldering iron might bring those pads back. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting my focus steps.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right. Bit more flux in there. Get off. Oh, that'll do. Right. Oh, that heckin' capacitor is so in the way. I think all my solder is going onto the top of the tip. The crowd has fallen deathly silent. I can't really see what I'm doing, by the way, because I've got the camera in the way. I'm kind of just, get the cap out. Yeah, I think so.
Sort of stroking at it.
Well, that's what I'm doing first, just to see if any of the solder takes, but I can't get the iron in there properly. So yeah, I'm taking that cap off. Let's see, 400 degrees low air, real low airflow. All right, now I put that cap somewhere and don't forget where it is.
So where have you put it?
To one side.
Which side?
The top right. It's next to my phone.
Okay. So when you completely forget in 5 minutes' time.
Okay. That's better. We can get in there now. I need smaller gauge solder, really. Right. Oh, come on. Are those pads going to come up?
Are these pads going to come up? What pads? What pads?
Yeah. Someone mentioned fiberglass pen, and I don't have one at the moment because my fiberglass pen ran out. But I am tempted just to... I might just get in there with the tweezers and just have a little bit of a scrape and just see if there's actually a pad there. Which my trip I use, this is a webcam. Because I'm a mad lad. Heat flux needle with pine saw. Yeah, that's a good idea. Heat with air to make solders separate between pads. I need to get in there and just see what's going on a bit more. All right, hang on a sec. I'm going to rearrange my windows a sec. I want a full screen preview so I can actually see my own camera properly. And I want to put the chat over there.
And then you're going to use that full screen as a...
Then we use the full screen preview as the poor man's microscope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. However, I need to get my my focus control in the right place.
Focus. Focus.
Oh yeah, those pads are gone, man. Those pads are gone. Right, where's my... Let's actually have a look though. I need to adjust the camera just so I can actually get tool implements under it because the camera's about an inch away from the thing at the moment. Right, that's as close as I can go and still be able to get anything in there. Those pads are gone. Ooh. Anyone there? No. The pads are gone. I can feel that the metal is actually gone there. So yeah, we're going to need mod wires.
Right.
Yeah, we're getting into micro soldering territory here, which is not my strong point. What have we got to run? So that's easy. That's easy. That's easy. These two guys here. What do you reckon? Do you think those are DC, or do you think there's some secret vias there? No. Do you reckon there's some secret vias there? Only 3 are connected. That's what I think. I don't think that's as hard as it looks.
I have no idea and wouldn't wish to comment.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a suspicion that a lot of these pins here don't go anywhere, or they might be going under the chip. That's the problem. They might be going under the chip, because otherwise there'd be a lot of stuff that's DC on this. Oh, I don't know, actually. Might be. All of this stuff is all display. There might be some unused. There might be a lot of unused pins on it. Some pins aren't used, no secret underpin. Okay. Scratch it with a knife. There's nothing there, Guru. There's nothing there. The metal is gone. Could be under the chip. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's hook up the ones that we can see and see if we get lucky. Right. I'm way out my depth with this, but let's try. Where is... I need the enamel wire, and I've got some if I can find it. I bet I can't find it though, just to spite me.
Probably.
Ah, here it is. Let me see, 27, 33. I've got some 33 gauge enamel wire. That might be too, yeah, that should do it. Snippers. I hope you guys are entertained, because this is where we live now.
This is certainly something.
Yeah. Okay. Time to micro solder without a scope.
I thought that was going to go differently, saying like time to micro solder without a clue.
Yeah, that as well. Look at I do not have the right tools for this. This is nuts. This is not the right things. These things are like £15. You're £15. This is my... But yeah. Ugh, let's adjust that. Sorry for the shaky cam, everyone. As I say, I don't really have the setup for this kind of thing. There we go. We just want to get some solder onto those pins.
I mean, I don't know if it's worth buying the right tools for this, but I kind of feel like it's worth having the right tools going forward, because you're slowly moving in this direction, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to have to scrape that enamel wire. So the enamel wire has enamel on it, and sometimes you can just burn it off with the soldering iron tip, but we're working too small here, so I need a knife edge just so I can scrape it clean. Where's my... I normally have a Stanley blade on my desk for scraping things, and it's gone walkabout.
It's not like I bought you enough. God.
Yeah.
Oh, apropos to absolutely nothing other than the fact I saw it on the homepage of eBay. The Pixel 4a and 4a 5G are discounted right now from the Google store.
Oh, yes, I was very tempted, but I've spent a lot of money recently. So,
like a 5800X.
Yeah, which I still need to pay you for, actually.
How much is just a Dreamcast secondhand? Wait, £25?
Not that low, I don't think. I think they're like...
Oh, no, that's an auction. I just saw it and was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But no, someone's trying to buy it now for 130.
Oh, I think they're worth less than that. I think you can get one for like 70 quid.
Oh, that's very grubby. Why is that so grubby? Oh. That's the downside with looking at anything on eBay. You suddenly just go, wow, why is that so grubby?
Yeah. Oh, what? I thought I'd actually scraped that clean, but now I've actually put it under the camera. It's like, no, there's still a lot of... Bloody hell.
Yeah, man. I think I feel like they're going up in price. A lot of the consoles, like the original PlayStation.
I think they're old enough to start going up in price. And also
Yeah,
there's a big craze for retro stuff at the moment, which is helping
yeah.
as well.
Does anyone want to buy an
I'm
original
crap at this.
PlayStation for far too much money?
I've got an old PlayStation. It's not that like for the PlayStations, I think in order for them to be worth anything, they need to be the original one with the serial port on it. I think the original ones with the serial port on it are the ones that are worth big money.
I have no idea which one I've got.
Yeah, because I've
We'll
got
have a look at the box.
yeah. Okay, right. I'm just going to adjust my positioning just so I'm more comfortable. Remember, everyone, make it work for you. If you can't hold things at a good angle, move it to an angle where you can hold it. That's slightly better. And I'm going to need to adjust the focus again. There we go. There it is.
It is an SCPH 900 or 9002B. Whatever that gives.
Right,
Yeah.
so, oh, I need to retin my tip. Bloody hell. Ugh. This is taking a while to do anything. If anyone's watching, I'm way out my... This is micro soldering, which is way out of my depth. However, it's probably a good thing to be practicing on, to be honest, because it's not actually worth much.
Oh, there you go. List of PlayStation models. Oh, wow. Apparently mine is quite late.
Come on.
Oh, yes. Mine has a reduced size PCB and removed parallel
Let's
port.
get some more
but
flux in there.
still has a serial port. Wait, what? Oh, God. The PlayStation 1 came out in 1994. Oh, God.
94. Yo.
September.
I need to figure out what year it was when I was playing. I used to have a childhood friend whose name was Ross, and it was his family who owned a Mega Drive, which is where I really got into Sonic. And I should be using tweezers here. Oh my God. Okay, get tweezers, Graham, tweezers. I don't know if tweezers are actually going to help me here either. I think I was better off just having my hand on it, just so I had less implements between me and the subject. Yeah, and I used to play Sonic around his house, and then he upgraded to a PlayStation, and I bought his Mega Drive off of him, which is how I originally bought my Mega Drive 2. But I don't know what year he got a PlayStation. What year did Space Jam come out?
97 from memory.
Yeah. So it must have been like 95 to 96 that I was friends with him.
96.
Oh my God, I cannot get this to stay on that pin.
I think the original Space Jam website as is still functions. Yeah, it does.
I wonder if they
Oh, no.
secretly moved it between hosting.
It used to, but they've now just replaced it with a YouTube video for the bloody new Space Jam film.
What?
Leave things alone,
No.
Hollywood.
Wait, sorry, they've changed the original Space Jam website
To just be a hot link to a YouTube video.
Oh, that's a travesty. That is a travesty.
Yeah, and they've changed it to A New Legacy. They've changed the title and everything.
That's horrendous, and I'm angry about that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, what?
I'm getting my fingers closer just so I can... turn at the right angle.
Ugh. Ugh.
Ow! Oh my God, I burnt my finger that time and it still didn't go on. Right. Now I shall tweezer. Right, okay, different attack, different approach. Let's try this. Yeah. Right. I need to melt the flux again because I can't bloody see anything in there. Right. Move along. Next pin. We're one pin across from where we need to be. Oh, how the hell do you do this, man? How do people solder wires this small? How? How do they do it?
I guess a lot of practice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to practice somehow. This is the practice. I hope that everyone else who micro solders, their first time micro soldering, they were having as much of a mare of a time as I am. Oh, come on, that's on. That's on. That's on.
I'm just glad you're attempting this and not me.
It's not sticking. Ah, the wire isn't tinned on the underside. The top side of it looked tinned, but the underside was not. Okay, I've turned the wire over.
Yes, as Paige says, I also imagine they possibly had the correct equipment.
True. There we go. I had it, and then I desoldered it because I'm an idiot. It was on, and I was like, "Oh, we'll just try. We'll just improve that." I've got another 3 of these to do, and that's assuming that it's only those 3 that need to be done. Oh, come on! Right, retin the soldering iron. Clean the bloody pins. They are clean. They are silvered. They are tinned. That's solder on them. They are silvered. Right, that is on. It's just got nothing to hold on to. So now I need to put a bend in that, I think. Trying to solder to the pad rather than the pin as well. There is no pad. The pad is gone. If we had a pad, I wouldn't be putting a mod wire in. Ah, no, that's not on. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to cut the wire to length though, just so when we get that right again, I can go straight to the bit where we want to go. Whoop. Bloody hell. I keep putting smaller and smaller bends in this, thinking surely that'll fit on. It's like, no, it's still too big. It looks big when you put it on screen, and then when you actually look at it with your naked eye, you're like, frickin' hell. Maybe solder first to the hole. That's a good idea, actually. That might make it easier. I'm going to take one more attempt at that. Right, I'll go over these pins one more time. Right. And there we go. Right. And I will scratch it with a knife just to satisfy everyone. However, I don't see how they can get any cleaner than they are. There it is. Whoop. I don't have a small knife for this, so we're going in with this chap. Whoop. There we go. That is as clean as they're going to get. There's still corrosion behind them, which I think is what people are seeing.
Well,
there we go. Well, hopefully that's a little bit more. Too big a wire. This is as small as a wire I've got, unfortunately. So, whoop. I need a smaller soldering iron is what I need. And I need the board to stop moving as well. Oh, my word. Okay, come off.
you'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, this is, you gotta practice somehow, haven't you? Ah, come on. It's just hooked behind that pin. Get in there. There. How's that?
How's
I think
that?
it's on.
How about that?
How about that? Catch me outside.
You stop.
Isa, I don't have any of those things, otherwise I'd be using them. I don't have any of those things that you just listed, otherwise I'd be using them. All right, okay, he needs to bend around. Ah, heck, because I need him to clear that pad. It's too long. It's got to come off. I've got to trim that. I've got to trim that elbow shorter. That's fine. We did it once. We can do it again. Eh. It's like it's trying to thread cotton through the eye of a needle at arm's length, is what it is.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Let's try that. There we go. I might have just been too vicious on that, but let's... Here we go. Right, that will need tinning. I will tin that on that pad there. However, also we do need more flux down there because I have used up this flux. I do agree on that front. Fresh flux. And I'll retin the soldering iron just so it's got some fresh on it as well. There we go. And let's see if I can retin this wire. There we go. All right, the wire has been retinned. Okay, right, here we go, this time. Have we actually just brought up that pat? No, yeah, the trace is still gone. Yeah. Come on, come on, I believe in you. The tip is on again. The tip is on. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's trying to be on, but it's not on properly. Yeah, there it goes. It's gone again. Come on. We need to be able to pull the board around with it. Otherwise, it's not on properly. Oh, come on. Oh. 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 I have the patience of a saint. I've got more patience than the audience has. I can tell you that much. As I say, this is why we don't do live repairs, because that's the thing is when I'm practicing like this, I'm only on my own time. But yeah, I consider us in overtime at the moment. I need more solder in there, I think is what I need. But the problem is I can't do it with this tip. On a related note, people who are saying sort of old thinner soldering iron tip, what are the thinner tips you can get for the TS100 or Pine Sol? Because this is a D24. Oh, balls. Oh no. Get out of there. That's not where I want you. Because I don't know what other thinner tips there are other than getting an actual micro pencil, which would be for like a Heiko or something like that. Oh, I can see the solder melting as I want it to, just not in the right place. It keeps going between the pins. There. I got it. I got it. Ah.
Excellent. One down, 75 to go.
Ooh. The Heikos do work in the TS100? That's interesting. Use thinner wire. I don't have thinner wire. Okay. Pencil tip. I've got a KU. I might have a BC2. I've got a BC. I don't know if it's a BC2 or not. No, it can't be. There's no way that's 1.5 mil. Yeah, that one's not going to help me. The TSKU might, though. I might switch out to the KU. In fact, I will. Let's warm up my TS100 with the KU in it. I don't have any multi-strand cable. I'm not kitted up for this. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you guys. I'm not prepared for this. This was not planned. Right, I'm going to trim that wire off. Eep. And I'm hoping I can just burn through the enamel on that wire now to get it onto the thing. Oh crap! My clamp for my camera is about to fall off. It's slowly been coming loose. Oh.
Something about comedy of errors.
Yeah, I just saw the camera arm moving in a way that I've never seen it move before, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh, that's come loose. There we go. All right. Whoop. All right, we're back in position. We're back in position. TSC1. Ah. Not familiar with the C1. Right. Let's get that up to temperature and tin up this tip. This tip is kind of knackered, but hopefully it will do the job. There we go. I've re-tinned it. Right, TSKU is coming in.
Can you just desolder it?
Yep, I just flicked it off.
Is it time to stop?
I think it is. I think it is. I've given this a sporting try, but I do not have the equipment for it. I think it's a case of if I'm actually to attempt this seriously, I need to come back with the correct tip. Yeah, no. Let's bail you out. Let's bail you out. You're done. You are done, Ski. Clean up after that.
As Paige says, don't forget about the capacitor.
Don't forget about the cap. Yeah. Yeah, I might stick the capacitor on there for now and then come back to this. I need to acquire a really small tip and then have another swing at this, I think. Because, yeah, the issue is just everything is too big. So, yeah, smaller tip, some smaller enamel wire, and then try it again. But, yeah, I'll stick the cap on there just so I don't lose it. Heckin', where's my other tweezers? Oh, I found my blade at least. There we go. Whoop. Also, I've just spotted the sus that everyone was talking about as well. Okay, right. Hot air, super low. we go. That's back on. Bienov. I'm super embarrassed that you've come in for a very failed attempt at micro soldering. However, yeah, I need the equipment for this basically. So yeah, I feel like this is a really good project for a practice run though. I feel like this could be a really good pet project for me. So this was 33 gauge wire. Does anyone have any? So this was 33 gauge wire. Does anyone have any suggestions for what gauge I should go for? What do you like? 40 gauge? .40 gauge wire maybe might be small enough. Could go brave, low melt solder and remove the chip. Maybe. I don't know if that will help. I mean, we might have to do that anyway because, you know, we've got, where are the tweezers? There they are. We've got like those two pins there and there, those middle ones. We don't know where those are going. Those might be going under the chip. So yeah, it's entirely possible that we need to take the chip off anyway. And I'm kind of tempted to say, and really I kind of need to know that before I actually successfully jumper wire these. 0.1 mil. 12 gauge to the head. To be continued. Maybe, yeah. I'll come back to this at some point. 40 gauge is 0.08. Oh, I have lost audio. Have my headphones died? Are you still there, Caradog?
Just a random video appears in like a couple of months' time. There's hacking! Dreamcast! Memory unit! And it's damn chip!
Yeah.
Made me buy all this equipment. Thanks to my sponsor of.
Yeah. 38 gauge. Okay, 38 gauge wire. Cool. Okay, I'll get some smaller wire. Because the problem is, most of the time when I'm buying wire, they measure it in gauges. So I know that's American, but that's just what I see when I'm looking. But yeah. Can you see the board under pass-through holes? That's a good idea. Hang on a sec. Let's flip this guy over. There might be. Hang on a minute. Let's figure out where we are. So we've got three little vias there, one above it, and then one across. 3 little vias, one above it, one across. So there are vias under the chip. So it's quite possible that those 2 pins are going up to there. That seems likely to me. I think the chip needs to come off because I think we're gonna need to do repair under there as well. And I don't know. We wouldn't even be able to get mod wires under there. I'm thinking that this is actually a lost cause. Even if I got good and did that one and did the 2 cap wires and this guy here, I don't think it's possible to get those guys under the board. So yeah, I think I'm fighting a losing battle here. I mean, it might be good to do those 3 wires just for practice, but actually making this thing work again, I think we're turbo dead. Shall I see if I can hot air the whole chip off the board just as a final last hurrah? Because I think this thing is toast. You can solder a strand of wick. Could do. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try and hot air the whole thing off. Just so we can see what's under it. I think this VMU is dead. And considering VMUs are super cheap, this is not a rare piece of equipment. I'm just going to take the chip off and see if there's anything under there.
It's not like it's a broadband adapter.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough fix even for pros. That makes me feel a lot better, Arnold. That does make me feel a lot better. Oh, I don't know how I can... hang on a sec. I need something to hold the board. I need a board holder for this, I think. Also, I'm definitely probably... Oh, this thing's probably got leaded solder in it anyway. I don't know. The potato is leaving the VMU. I'm going to try. Can I get my tweezers around this guy? I can.
Oh no.
Let's find out what we were up against. Do I need to run around with some leaded solder? Flux? Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll give it some extra flux. Is it worth running around the pins with the leaded solder as well? There's lots of people saying, why don't you use these things that I don't have? I also need new flux, because this flux is bollocks. There we go.
I mean, conveniently, you've used a load of it on this.
This is true. This is true. What am I on? Let's have a bit more heat as well. I probably should have run the soldering iron around it while I was at it. I'm trying not to blow all the flux away.
Away!
Yep, there we go. Oh, yeah, I can see a big old stain under that chip. So you can see that big old stain there. That's where all the corrosion had gotten under the chip. And yeah, we had our work cut out with this.
Oh my.
Whoop. Yeah, look at that. No, we never had a chance.
Apparently, though, your efforts were certainly good enough for someone to want to become a channel member.
Yeah, thank you, Martin Baker. Much appreciated. Yeah, yeah. So both of those pins were connected under the chip. There's the rest of our corrosion that was under the chip there. And yeah, those pins were gone. Oh, that's a big sad, man. So actually, if we have a look at this, oh man, look at that. That's how it happened. So this is where the button cells come down. The corrosion from the button cell, here's the leaky cell. It's come out of the cell and it's gone through the vias in the board. That's how it's gotten under the chip. It went through the vias in the board, and that's how the corrosion got to the chip. That's a shame, man. Yeah. That's a big shame. Can the chip be put on a replacement board? It probably could. The chip is probably fine. However, didn't someone look this up and see that VMUs were like £5 on eBay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 15 or something, but yeah.
Oh, 15, sure. Yeah.
I mean, for the challenge of doing it, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but
for the challenge of doing it, it was a fun repair, but this isn't a valuable item. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had conformal coating, you can glue the wick wire and scratch where the pin touches. Yeah. The data on the chip. No, we're not out for data recovery. I mean, it would have been fun to see what saved data I had on here. It would have been fun to see what was actually saved on the VMU. So, I mean, if anything, it might be fun to buy a VMU and swap the chips over to do a data recovery for the fun of it. That would actually be kind of cool. I'm actually kind of tempted to do that, but I don't like the idea of butchering another potentially butchering another VMU just for my curiosity. But yeah. Interesting. Yeah, either way, I think we're at the end of the road for this one. Rip anyone who was watching the VOD and just sat through an hour of me fumbling with a wire. But at any rate, we had a try. Potato is no more. Sad face. But I will keep this to one side, and what I might do, I might buy another... let's actually inspect those pins a sec. Let's pick this guy up. Ugh. Let me go super close in on those pins and just see, are the pins actually still okay? Yeah, the underside of those pins will pick up. They're still there. Yeah. That'd be difficult. Yeah. I think sticking that chip on another VMU would be an interesting project. However, yeah, it looks like in terms of me practicing micro soldering, I never had a chance with this, I don't think. But yeah, it was nice to try. Right. Let's see. You're at your bench updating your TS100 firmware. Just going to say, yeah, GitHub Ralym. It's there. But yeah. Right, at any rate, I think we're done here. I think it's time to wrap up. I have run out of steam for today. So it was a good learning experience. Yeah, it was a good practice run. Even though I haven't succeeded, it was fun to try it out. Because it's a case of I've never tried soldering anything super small, and I wanted to just actually have a go at that and be like, right, actually, how hard is this? Because I've done repairs that people have said you can't do this without X, Y, Z, and I've done it. However, this was very much a case of no, I do not have the tools for this. So yeah, nice try, no cigar. Brushy. Just cleaning off the flux. Great show and enjoyed. Well, I'm glad people enjoyed me having a bash at that, even though it was about an hour of me fumbling with a tiny wire. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Where's my precision loo roll?
Do you pay extra for that?
Yeah, Charmin. It's not. There we go. Fair enough. Oh, well, at the very least, that's what's inside a VMU. Wah. Michael Casper, thanks for the $2. You enjoyed the poster more. Oh, the flux isn't too bad. It didn't turn dark or super bad. All right, fair enough. Yeah, groovy. Could you not connect botch wires under the chip? It's probably doable, but it requires someone with more talent than me. It requires someone with more talent than me to do that. So yeah. However, I will put all of that to one side, and I might try and put that chip on another VMU and see if we can get the data off of it that way, just for funsies. The VMU died from corrosive neglect. Yeah, basically that. You know, I put away my Dreamcast in a box, and it sat there for 17 years. And when I came back to it, the button cells had leaked out. I've never seen a button cell leak though. So, but yeah, it can happen. It can happen. I'll put the LCD back in. Heck, I've no idea which way up the LCD goes. Yeah, we'll find out another time. I'm going to just flip all of this inside the case just to make it assembled. Whoop. Put that in there. Put that in there. Anyway, right, we're going. We're done. We're off ski. There we go. Vaguely reassembled. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We are syncing. We are. Yeah, we are syncing. Right. Podcast splits. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We will be back next week, as usual. Same bad place, same bad time. I will thieve. I'm kind of sad about that. I was really looking forward. This was just supposed to be putting some new button cells in my VMU and going, haha, look at that. It's got my old save games on it. But we kind of went into other places today. But anyway, thank you everyone for dropping by. We'll be back next week as usual. And thank you for all of the people who showed up today. Thank you for the channel members. Thank you for the super chats. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, that's that. Should have removed the batteries before putting it into storage next time. Well, maybe next time I've got a Dreamcast that I'm putting it into storage, I'll remember to take the batteries out of it. I'm sure everyone does that. Right, that's it. We're off. Thanks you for tuning in, everyone. I'm going to hit stop streaming now. Cheery bye.
Ciao.
If I can find the live streaming board, there it is. Ciao, everyone. Toodles.
Au revoir.
Wah.
Farewell. Goodbye.
End.